Okay. So, last session, started off, we were waiting for Harshnag to come join us at the battle site where we had just killed the fire giants and orcs and bird creatures and crazy digging beast thing. And we were waiting for Harshnag. But as it got dark, we remembered that those locusts had swarmed us, so Zorana and Thornbur decided that we would split off and go out to collect some herbs to make some bug repellent to ward off the locusts. So Kareem decided to do some smithing. Zinfel probably read, I assume. I'm not really sure. And Thornbur and Zorana split off and went into the woods. After collecting their goods, the sun had kind of gone down at this point, I think. They heard a camp of orcs nearby, which they went and investigated and saw a group of halflings, a couple males and female, younger halflings, and then one really old one, about to be burned at the stake by this group of orcs. So they thought, quick action, what do we do? And the natural thing was they were going to intimidate Gruumsh One-Eye, the orc god. Zorana, with her knowledge of orcs, knew this very well and was teaching Thornbur the proper orcish so that he could scream at them. In the meantime, Kareem and Zinfel, as they were doing their whatever the hell they were doing, saw some torches, some torchlight out in the woods, I believe, and they sprung to action and thought that something must be up and went out looking to see what was going on. Fortuitously, they met at almost the same exact time that Thornbur and Zorana were being ambushed suddenly by the orc scout that saw them outside the camp.
Mm-hmm.
So they switched it around, ambushed that scout, dispatched them quickly. The rest of the orcs charged forwards. A few stayed back to light up the halflings, but Zorana deftly dispatched them with her bow as the rest of the adventurers fought off the orcs outside the camp. They went and saved old Ollie Woodhue and his gang. Ollie had a really nice wand that he was using as a walking stick, and with the help of his friends convincing him and us replacing it with a cut-in-half quarterstaff, he traded that wand to us, which ended up being a wand of magic missile that Thornbur now is holding. Doesn't really know what to do with it, but we'll see how that goes. They went back to the hill where Harshnag and Moog were waiting for them. They had the earth elemental Karasansui had been lent to them by Chalcedon, who was lending it to us to use as we would. So we had him dig up the chain that was down there. And then we kind of tried to decide where to go next. Decided that we were going to head to Tribor, while Harshnag and Moog are going to go to the Tower of Anam, and Harshnag was not too happy about it, but he was going to go do something else and then meet us there. At some time we had said, I think the end of the month, there was a little bit of confusion about it, but we'll meet him there sometime.
Yep,
And
you're supposed to meet up with him on Kythorn the Third.
Right,
So,
of course. Hi, Thorn.
Kythorn, yeah.
Thornbur's not great with dates, you know.
No. So let's see. According to the calendar here, the current date is Myrtle the 23rd. Kythorn the 3rd is 10 days from now.
Of course. Right. We could always send a sending to him if we need to. I believe.
That's true. Kareem. Nope. Zinfel
No,
can do one
I
of
cannot
those.
do that. Nice try, though.
That's right.
I could do one of those actually. I just never have. Zinfel makes it look good.
Oh, I think we want to help get Zinfel's book repaired too.
The spell
That's
book.
something.
Her spell
That's
book.
something we want to do while we're here.
It might be possible. Well, that morning you depart. It is now the morning of the 24th, I believe, after you've rested for the night. Let me just make sure of that. Yep. And you're able to say your goodbyes. You travel east along the Tribord Trail. The day is pretty uneventful, but peaceful. The surrounding hills actually start to diminish, and they get smaller and smaller until they eventually just like morph into grassland and farmland as far as the eye can see in all directions. And you start to see the semblance of a town in the distance far to the east. Kind of like, hidden amidst a nearby wood. But in terms of the actual farmland that's around you, you can tell that there are various crops of different varieties, whether they're apple orchards or fields of corn, and other things that would grow just naturally, like pumpkin patches and stuff like that. And it seems like, in general, things at first glance seem like they're good and they're normal, but as you're walking through and you're getting closer to Tribord, you notice that a lot of these places, they almost seem like they're abandoned. You don't see anybody outside. You don't see any sign of livestock. In fact, even the surrounding crops, they actually, what you thought looked healthy when you get closer, are actually almost as if they've been disregarded, or they've been plundered and picked clean.
What's happened here?
Yeah, it becomes quickly evident that something, as you're walking through this hill, the surrounding countryside, what can be better called ranches, that something has obviously happened, has affected the town and the nearby surrounding areas.
Do any of the houses look like they've been broken down or destroyed? Or is there any vandalism, I guess you could say?
Yeah, I mean, without getting super close, you can take a look, but just that from a distance along the road, you can see that you don't see any plumes of smoke rising up from several houses. Usually it's just like a single house, maybe like a barn house. But even some that you pass, they look like they have the doors are literally like wide open, and you don't see anything inside but darkness.
Is there any giant footprints?
So, as you're I guess you're going to investigate one of the nearby farms. As you're walking around, yes. Why don't you make me a survival check? You were already ready. You're like,
I have it open. It's on my second screen.
So, no, you don't really see. You see boot prints, but nothing that would resemble to you giant prints. That doesn't mean that you're the only person that can roll. The other people in the group can roll if they wish.
I have advantage on tracking my favorite enemy.
Oh, well, it's clear. While it's not so clear to Kareem, there are numerous boot prints that probably just belong to the farmers. It's pretty clear to Zorana, as you're investigating and looking around, that it seems like these human-sized prints actually belong to orcs. And you do occasionally see, a passing of very large booted feet. That sinks probably, you would say, like a few inches into the ground, leading you to believe that whatever giant was traversing this area definitely was heavily armored and weighed a ton. Probably much more than a ton.
Could I tell probably how long ago? Does it look like it's kind of fading now?
Oh, these look really fresh. Like, despite the rains that did happen a few days ago, you can tell that they definitely are no older than a 10-day. Anywhere between a 10-day to maybe a couple days.
There's tracks from some giants and most likely orcs that were with them. Later
but you also see some other interesting things too, because you rolled so tremendously well. You see that there are other similar tracks to that resemble like a large bird's feet, which leads you to believe that they belong to axe beaks. And the oddest tracks of all are these scorch marks through the earth. Like as if something or some creature that perhaps was made of fire also traveled through here. And in fact, as you're walking around, traversing, like I said, the ranches on your way to Tribor, you can even see that you encounter a couple of farm homes that have been completely burnt away.
Maybe we should stealth before we go to the next town. Or go into the main town, Tribor.
Well, these tracks are about a 10-day old around there, but I agree. We should still be careful, considering there's nobody here.
Yeah, who knows what they left in their wake.
It could have also been the group that we just came across.
This is terrible news. Innocent people have died. Probably.
We were too late.
We shall avenge them. Maybe we already did.
True, maybe they were. No.
There could always
Either way, I think we should kill some more giants.
True.
All right. Well, fortunately for you guys, you do think, though, that Tribor isn't abandoned. From what you can see in the distance, you do see plumes of smoke rising from the town, but nothing that would indicate that it's like on fire. You don't hear like any sounds in the distance of people screaming or anything like that. But that is the impression that you get as you get closer and closer. You lay low to the ground, hugging the road in essence to make yourselves less visible, or are you off the road, kind of just traveling through like the crops and trying to stay off so that you're not so easily spotted?
I'm definitely in the crops.
Okay, and there's also trees and stuff like that you can use for partial cover.
Sure.
So doing, I'm assuming that you guys are all doing the same thing.
What kind of crop? What kind of crops are we in?
Well, like I described before, it could be anything from like apple orchards to corn stalks.
Can I be picking apples as we walk?
Actually, you notice that this area is very, like I said before, they're
barren?
very barren, as if the whatever, like the orcs took everything that was able to be taken.
Mm. Okay, well, I'm still keeping my eye out. If there's an apple, I'm taking it.
Oh yeah. Well, occasionally you are able to find, some discarded piece of fruit or vegetable, where that you could pick up off the ground.
Okay.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah, ground apples don't sound too good to me.
Kareem, don't eat that.
I don't know about that.
Don't eat that. Put that down.
But it becomes very clear to you that these whatever orcs and fire giants and axe beaks pass through here, that they really didn't meet any resistance whatsoever. They just came and conquered and took what they wanted and moved on.
Okay. I think we're gonna make our way into town as stealthily as we can.
Yeah.
After we see the crops, we probably motion to go in, or after we see the tracks, motion to go into the crops.
Sure. So as you're moving along, you like I said, you do eventually pass a couple of houses that look like they've been completely gutted out by fire. And here is where the scene slightly changes, because you can actually see that perhaps this farmhouse in particular, or this family that lived here, definitely tried to fight back. And they paid the price for it, is the best way to describe it. You can actually see like bodies here that have been burnt very, very badly, or slain with actual weapons.
Sand people.
Yeah, and in one particular spot, that's very and in one particular spot, from what you can see, there is there's a huge swath of fire, almost like a circular area in the grass itself that is very, very wide. Your best guess is probably about 20 feet wide. And the odd thing is that it seems like it emanated out from a center point and just like exploded out. But it doesn't seem to be magic.
Okay. But so there was like an explosion.
It could be. Is anybody who wants to roll an Arcana check can? You know what? I will roll. I will roll for Zinfel. Yeah, I will roll for Zinfel because she's currently not here and is due to join us soon. So just give me a second.
I definitely don't know.
Too accurate for that.
So, let's see.
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
All right, so she's able to discover. She says, "Oh, this doesn't seem like magic at all. This looks to me like something blew up, but not like something natural. I think like a creature, maybe."
Interesting.
Exploding
Explosive
squirrels?
creatures.
From 9 hells.
Sounds dangerous.
I don't actually know that.
I like dangerous.
Exploding rabbits?
Well, you can make a nature check, Zorana, if you wish.
Nope.
Not exploding rabbits. That's probably it.
That's probably it.
Have you think I've ever heard rumors of this being traveled? Can I
You
make
know what? I would allow you a history check.
a history check?
Yeah, you've heard of creatures in your native tongue that do have the ability to explode in fire, like once they die. Anything ranging from like demons to even small fire elementals. Now, whatever exploded here, though, your best guess is that it probably was pretty small.
Okay.
But you don't know the word for it in the common tongue. I assume you speak some sort of language native to your lands of Moharan,
Yes.
right, Morundi?
Yeah, I name it off. I'm not sure what I should say though.
Your best translation into the common tongue is... I will whisper it to you.
Okay.
Fire rabbit. It's totally a rabbit.
Little boom.
Little Boom?
No. Magamen.
Magamen?
That's definitely what they said.
Oh, okay.
I totally did not pronounce that wrong.
Never heard of these.
Mega Men. Hmm.
Zimba just looks at you. Yeah, that sounds.
Sounds like a cool band name.
Right.
Well, I hope
I think we should move on. my
encounter
friend.
these.
Yes. Let's keep moving.
Let's
Walk.
not dwell on these beings.
Let's get to the town and see if anybody can tell us what happened here.
Yes, hopefully everybody's okay. I think that should be our first priority.
All right. So you spend the better part of the day pretty much traveling, but you don't, like I said, you don't really encounter anything but these, ominous sights along the road. And considering that you're moving pretty stealthily, it's almost nightfall when you arrive at Tribor. What you find is a town that is not walled. That is, you know what? I'll just read you a description. How about that? It'd be a lot better than me trying to describe it. So what you actually see is, although the sun is setting, the town does seem like it's still bustling with activity. What you find is a town that is, in general, kind of like in the process of being of a lot of construction going on. What you see is a sign on the road as you're traveling along the tribal trail from west to east that says come visit. Oh, fuck. Give me a second.
It says
I had it just right. Yeah, you actually see like one of those signs with like a bunch of arrows on it pointing like directions to different things. And all the arrows are pointed toward the center of the town, but it says Happy Horse Ranch, Wayne Wright's wagons, and the Lion's Share, and the Cart and Coin.
These must be names of establishments.
Yeah, that's what it seems like to you. But as you're entering town, you can actually see that there you get a lot of nobody's really like looking out on the road. It seems like everybody's got their head down, minding their own business, and there's a general mood of slight suspicion from what you could tell in their eyes, but nobody seems to like outwardly try to greet you.
We're in the town now?
Yeah, like you're approaching the town. You're walking along the tribal trail.
I thought we were like sneaking in like the bushes and stuff.
No, we were just along the crops and like.
That's fine
there's a
if you
bunch
want.
of branches before the middle of the town.
I was gonna like try to like take somebody off the road and like question them.
Okay, yeah, that's fine too. So is that the plan then? You're not traveling along the road itself. You're kind of in the trees.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's what I was thinking we were doing. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, the closest thing that you can see, considering the direction you're traveling from, is what looks like a kind of decrepit-looking house with an outhouse that is sort of just a few yards away from the main house itself, and you notice that there is a woman sweeping the street or the road outside of her home. That she appears very stooped and aged. Her gray hair is like really frazzled and tied back into a bun, and she's a little bit on the overweight side, and she's just slowly sweeping and muttering to herself, and whatever she seems to be saying sounds to you like gibberish. So I'm just gonna kind of move you guys for a second, just to show you exactly where you are and where this house is. And she hasn't noticed you. She is she's roughly here, like sweeping the street.
Mhm.
Do you see where I'm pinging the map?
Yeah.
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 Should we
Maybe
go
we
talk to that lady? She seems very talkative.
We could try to whisper her and lure her in.
Lure her in.
Yeah.
Do
Right.
we need to do that?
No, probably not.
Getting a look at the house, you kind of get the creeps looking at
Yo.
it. The house almost looks like it's haunted. It's in really really bad shape, like a really bad state of disrepair.
She
You
obviously
even
was attacked.
You even see that the windows are kind of boarded up, and in general, the house looks really really dirty.
I don't think it would be a good idea to whisper quietly from the middle of the trees unto a woman like that. She might come out here with a shotgun. I mean, a crossbow.
She does
You
seem
also
like
notice that there is a like a little mailbox on the road itself, like right around here. Actually, right here in front of the house.
Can I listen in to see if anyone's inside the outhouse? Anyone taking a crap?
Yeah, why don't you make me a stealth check to see if she notices you or not. But,
Okay.
I'm gonna give you advantage on it.
I don't have. I automatically disadvantage anyway, so
Oh.
it's a 5.
Well, as you get closer to the house, she actually turns in your general direction, and she squints, and you can tell that she's got really bad eyesight, and she stops sweeping for a moment.
I
She
freeze
says,
up.
Hey, who's there in the woods? Who's there? Come out where I can see you.
Guys, I think the jib is up.
There was no jib,
I say to
Carter.
the party.
Shit.
And she's like gripping the broomstick in her hand, and you can tell like her knobby fingers are like bone white gripping it. And you get the impression, just passively with your insight, that she seems to be really frightened at the moment.
She's scared, you
don't
ding
worry.
dongs.
We're outsiders from the town. We're here to help. We wanted to ask you some questions.
Greetings, fair lady.
All right. Why don't you make me a persuasion check?
There's so
But
much
I'll give you
freaking-
advantage. Nah, I'm just gonna say this is a normal check.
Okay.
The-
I don't need advantage. It's fine. I can fail.
This is a
I'm okay with it.
Oh, for a second there, I thought you were orcs. You don't look like no orcs, though. Oh my, what a strapping young fellows you are.
have
Oh,
why are
Lovely
you
ladies
hanging?
with us too.
Why
stop
are
it.
you hanging around in those trees? Come out here where an old lady can see you.
I'm sorry, we were nervous. We weren't sure what was going on here. We saw the wreckage outside of town. Are you all right?
I am all right. Why? Why are you in the woods? Sneaking
didn't-
about? Are you
we didn't-
are you thieves or hooligans?
I'm pointing at Kareem. It was his idea.
At this point, she hasn't noticed the rest of your party behind you.
No, we're just fools.
Yeah, we make bad decisions a lot.
It's mostly my bad decision.
Fools, eh? My husband was a fool until he died. That is. Well, what can this old woman do for you?
We were wondering what happened to the town, or I guess the ranches leading up to the town.
She says, "Oh, those ranches are all abandoned. It's the orcs and the other creatures that attacked, not so long ago. A few days now. I'd say perhaps a 10-day past." She says, "They were looking for something, God knows what. I just stay here, mind my own business, and sweep my streets and roads, and pray that my husband comes and returns for me one day."
So nobody was hurt in the town?
Oh, gods no! Plenty of people were hurt, some even killed.
Oh, Lord.
Did they go into the town or just the ranches around it?
Oh, of course. They went into the town. Are you not listening? I thought I said that already.
I'm sort of listening.
There was many of them. Green-skinned bullies, orcs, and on birds with blue feathers and large beaks, and these dancing little imps made of pure fire and malice. And finally, the two very, very large giants with nearly black skin. They were looking for something and dug up a grand big hole in the ranch.
Or
Was
there.
it
Ranch,
a,
the
only
horse
two?
corral in the center of town, and she points over her shoulder down the road in this direction.
Are the horses all right?
She looks at you. She says, wait. So now you come out because at
Yeah.
first she didn't notice you. So she says, oh, how many of them are you in the woods?
I like the
I
woods.
think that's it. Is Zinfel here? There's one more.
She says, I don't know. I guess. I think maybe a horse or two died in the attack.
Were the giants? Was it a male and a female? And she had like crazy hair.
She says, I don't know. I
What?
can
Isn't that
barely
when we
see
killed that
more
crazy
than
hair?
my hands in front of me.
Oh,
And
wow.
Oh, I know what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if it's the ones we saw. Because we just killed some big giants. And I imagine, I mean, how many giants do you see around this part where I grew up? There weren't many until one day, and then there were a lot.
Were
But I
there
feel like
only two
maybe they were the
giants,
same.
miss?
What an astute observation.
She says, well, you seem like nice enough folks. Why don't you come in from the cold? The sun is setting and it will get dark very soon. Do you wish to come inside and perhaps have a spot of tea?
That is very
Well,
kind of you.
that sounds lovely.
I do like tea.
But do we want to stay here, guys? Or do we want to go into town and find an inn?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we should probably. But this old lady is so nice.
I mean, we could maybe stay a few hours and then mosey back into town to find some place to stay tonight.
Is it like really dark? No. The sun's just setting, right? You just said that.
The sun is setting. It's getting dark. It'd probably be dark in less than an hour.
Can't really look
Hmm.
at shit when it's dark.
To be honest, I don't trust anybody, so I don't really trust
Oh,
this
come
lady.
on. It's an old. Look at her. She can't even see.
Well, I'm going inside now. You can choose to come with me or not. She says, otherwise, you should probably introduce yourselves, if you're adventurers or that sort of silly folk, to Dorotha Shrendel. She's the Lord Protector of Tribor. Of course, she's not doing much of anything now with her arm and leg broken.
Yeah, screw it. Let's go inside.
I'll take some tea.
Yeah.
Sinfil, how do you feel
What was that
about
name?
this?
Dorotha Schindel?
Dorothra Shrendel.
Sorry, it always takes me a few times to get the names down. I'm not great with names.
Me either.
Oh, she says, come. And slowly, using the broom as sort of like a cane or a walking stick, she makes her way to the side of the house where she walks up a couple steps and pulls out what looks like an ancient key from within her bra. She pulls it out and sticks it into the lock after a couple of attempts of, due to her poor eyesight, of trying to turn it.
Just like Susan was doing with the spoon.
And as soon as she puts it in and opens the door, you immediately, assuming that you guys are standing right behind her, you get the smell of like old house and cat piss.
The best two smells.
And as you look inside, it looks really freaking dark. Number one. Number two, it looks really, really grimy. And literally, as she's going up the steps, you actually see like a small mouse come right out of the door and like run outside.
Can I try to pick it up?
Are you gonna try to pick it up?
Yeah.
Sure. Why don't you make me a strength check? No, actually, I would say a dexterity check
Yeah.
using your proficiency bonus.
I was about to ask, is this a giant mouse?
Just making a dexterity ability check.
You
And then
fall.
Oh my god, no. Oh, that's really bad. You rolled a 1. You're like, oh, mouse! And you go running for it, and you just trip right over a root, and you land face first right in a plop of mud.
Oh shit!
Oh no! In mud.
She looks like,
Zorana!
actually, she doesn't even notice you do that. You obviously did not catch the mouse. It just scurries right off into the forest, and and Winter's just like nudging you with his head.
I'm okay, boy.
You're like, oh, mouthful of mud.
I'm okay.
Zorana, you need help up.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'll get the next one.
Right. Well, now we need to go get the bath too.
I've had worse. It's like normal everyday life.
Well.
It's good for the skin. Here.
I
Put
don't
some
think
on
it's going to.
Kareem's face.
God, get that off of me.
So this woman, she walks up the couple steps into her home, spends another like minute or two like fumbling with a lantern and lighting it, and as the lights come on, you see essentially what looks like a mud room that leads into a kitchen. And the kitchen itself looks like it's an absolute disarray. There are pots and pans everywhere, in addition to days old food left in plates, and literally you see vermin, like insects and roaches, just like scattering to the four corners of the kitchen. And then there's that kind of lead out of here as well. There's a few chairs and a table, and she says, "Please, please sit. I prepared some tea."
I just kind of mutter under my breath. No wonder her husband left.
He died.
Oh, that's right. Wait,
And
really?
so you guys are actually go inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
All right, it's really nasty in here. Like it kind of. I assume you leave Winter outside because he's way too big to actually enter inside. But as you're kind of like just standing around, and a couple of you may or may not be clearing chairs so that you can actually sit. You're looking around the kitchen, and you find an inordinate amount of like jars or large glass jars that look like they are filled with for lack of a better word, some yellowish liquid, but inside you actually see many snakes, like a bunch of different jars of a bunch of different sizes, and each one of them contains your regular garden variety snake.
Can I insight check this lady after I see that?
She
To see if
pickles
she's like-
snakes.
I see.
It looks like a bunch of pickled snakes. Yes, that's exactly what it is. And insight check on the woman.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if she's like just out of her mind.
I see the look on Kareem's face, and I say, "Now, Kareem. Ilmater says, do not judge a scroll by the first paragraph."
So
I'm looking if she's just out of her mind, if she's just crazy or what.
So I don't think you need to make an insight check for that. You think you think passively.
No check required.
No check required. You think just from your passive ability to insight, you're pretty sure that this chick is this woman is a little bit off her rocker.
Okay.
I don't want tea anymore.
I don't even know what type of tea she's going to bring out.
Oh, well, actually, she goes into a cupboard and she pulls out what looks like an old rusty tin. And she looks like she's struggling with her bony hands to, like, unscrew the top so she can get it open.
I'm feeling generous. Why don't we clean this place up?
Oh my god, it would take you days. It is like being in a hoarder's home. It
Not
is
with magic.
not with magic, maybe, but
Can we presentation everything to make it cleaner?
I'm gonna say that Zinfel just flat out refused to come inside, and she's hanging outside.
Probably, actually.
Yeah, that sounds.
That sounds about right.
Sounds like what you would do.
Okay, I
So
hope
her
I
and
open the.
Relics
I
of
hope,
Hey,
Winter.
guys, come on. We'll make this ladies' day. Let's just have some tea real quick, and then we'll be gone.
man,
Okay.
this place is disgusting.
Old people just want company. They get bored.
I help her open her thing because I see her struggling.
Yeah, sure. And
Ask
what's
her if
the
she has any old photo albums that she wants to show me.
photo album?
I'd love to.
You do see kind of like an oval, hand-drawn portrait of a man with mutton chops and no chin hair. So he's just got this long mutton choppy beard. He's got a very serious look on his face and big bushy eyebrows. He probably looks like he's maybe about 65, maybe almost 70 years old in the picture. But aside from that, it's just his face and his portrait. He just looks very serious. And this is above the sink, the basin, in the kitchen itself. And it looks really, really grimy and faded. As you're taking a closer look at it, though, you can tell that there's a little brass plaque right at the bottom end of the oval portrait frame.
Can I read? Does it have words on it?
Yeah. So you'll have to touch it and actually smudge off the grime.
Okay. Yeah, I just wiped it off.
Yeah. So you wipe that off and you read the word or the name Mirak. Mirak.
Is there someone I knew named Mirak?
Not that you recall.
Is someone I know named
I'm
Mirak?
thinking of Morak.
Yeah.
I was like, that name sounds familiar. Very close. Hey, I knew a guy who had a name
So
that was just one letter
Seraphina
away.
suddenly appears over your shoulder.
Oh God! You
Thornburg,
scare me when you do that.
and she says to you in a low whisper,
Do we all see this?
no, that only Thornburg can hear and see her.
You guys see me jump and go. You scare me when you do that.
And she says, there's something very wrong in this house, Thornburg.
Oh shit!
And then you see her eyes kind of go up to the ceiling, and then she fades away.
Okay, I look up. I kind of follow her gaze.
You just see a grimy, stained ceiling.
Huh.
Shit. I'm gonna use my divine sense. So
Good idea.
that it's an action, and any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet. That it has to not be behind total cover. This thing's not very useful.
Okay.
You know what? It's okay. I'll let it work.
Okay, so I use my divine sense. Within 60 feet, any celestial fiend or undead, I just know the type, but not the identity. I can also detect.
I'm going to say though that
place.
because it is kind of behind total cover, you get a strange foreboding sense that there is something above you.
Okay.
And your best guess, or just the general impression that you get, is that it's undead.
Okay. Shit.
Meanwhile,
That's
Kareem, you are helping the old lady unscrew the top, and as you look inside, you get hit. Just as you pop the top off, you actually get hit with this really, really, really potent smell that just like wafts up from this jar. And what you see are a bunch of dried, tea leaves, black tea leaves that.
Were they black before or after? Like, they just started.
Well, as you're looking in it, you actually see that there is a cluster of dead insects at the bottom of it.
Lady, what is wrong with you?
What? There's nothing wrong with me. Why are you asking?
I start looking for
Please
stairs.
say it, I'll boil
to the
some water.
second story.
Boil some water.
She says, I just
To
have
boil
to
your
go
house.
outside and get a pail. And she goes to the countertop and she pulls out a pail and she shuffles over to the door and goes out of it, leaving you guys alone in the kitchen.
Guys, holy shit! I think that Kareem was right. I think this lady is fucked up.
Wait, 2 seconds ago, Thornbur, you said she was fine.
I know.
I'm like
My
sadly
angel friend
staring into
came,
the snake
and
jars.
spoke to me. I get a bad feeling. I get a really bad feeling here.
I always get the bad feeling.
I think that there's something creepy upstairs. Should we just go look at it while she's gone?
Yeah.
Let's go upstairs. Let's go now.
Yeah, screw it.
Let's go get
explore.
Zinfel.
I took a jar with me and I'm like kind of sad, staring at the snake.
Let's go before she's back.
Poor snake.
Before she's
All right,
back.
all right. So
I go-
she walks pretty slow, and
Should we get Zinfel? Should we tell Zinfel?
Eh,
Tell Zinfel.
Zinfels can stay outside. It's fine.
I poke my head out and I say, Zinfel, come here.
Going on?
Zorana, though, you said that you picked up a jar and you're actually looking at it.
Yeah, I'm looking
Um,
at the snake.
You can see that the snake, its front teeth are missing.
Fuck. She takes the fucking teeth.
Its head, like its mouth, is open, and where its fangs would normally be, are completely gone.
This woman is a witch.
Even
Is
more
Jay in the group
distraught.
now?
Yeah, Jay's here.
I am here.
He's just giggling.
Do you know what's going on, Jay?
Yeah, totally.
Something about chasing mice and falling into mud in a place that stinks.
Yeah, we're in an old lady's house in Tribor.
Yeah, we came to Tribor, and on the way, like, everything was dead. We saw evidence of those fire giants. We think it was the same fire giants attacked the town.
Well, I think you do. I don't know. I don't think it's the same fire giants personally.
Okay. Well, there was fire giants with orcs and axe beaks that attacked, and little
Oh yes.
things that blew up, little creatures that would blow up. And then we came and we were sneaking into town, and we saw this old lady, and we started chatting her up, and she invited us in for tea, and her place is super fucked up.
It's like a hoarder's
And-
house.
And we think that there's like a zombie in the fucking attic or something. Probably.
Yeah,
Of
I
her
just
dead-
got a sense.
Of her dead husband, most likely.
Yeah.
Get your wish
Oh.
today, lady.
Hubby zombie.
So I assume that your character Jay was kind of like really creeped out by the old lady in her dirty ass house. So you just kind of like stayed outside with Winter and Relix as she invited you guys in for tea. But you do notice that as you're kind of just like chilling out there waiting for these guys to stop dicking around, the old lady comes back out and she's holding a pail, and she just kind of gives you like a gentle nod as she like shuffles over to what looks like an outside water pump.
Oh.
The door she did not close behind her. Well, it's sort of ajar. Meanwhile, the rest of you guys.
Time to slip in.
Yeah,
Me
I
and Thornburg are
Zin-
gonna go
so
upstairs.
Zinfeld's going in.
I'm making my way upstairs. I'm not even waiting for anyone. I'm just going upstairs.
Yeah,
You're like,
them from
I
the
put my head out and I gave Zinfel a nod. Tried
Oh,
to get her
man.
to come.
So-
I have my shield on. I'm ready for battle.
all right, so
In an old
four of
lady
you are
house.
going, I assume.
Yeah.
Is this right? And did you bring relics with you, Jay?
Yes.
Okay.
I think there's a
So-
zombie in here.
So you slip into the room just as like they notice you come in, and they're, leaving the kitchen, or what looks like a really grimy, dirty kitchen filled with like glass jars with dead snakes in them, and it just looks like really nasty and dirty.
It
there's-
smells really bad, I assume.
It smells like cat piss and old house. But with Kareem leading the way, you walk through. You leave the kitchen. You enter what kind of like looks like a really almost claustrophobic kind of hallway that is just like really really dirty. You see like tattered tapestries on the walls that are so faded you can't even you don't even see what they actually are. It's really freaking dark in here. On top of that,
How's it smell?
it smells just as bad.
If not worse?
It smells like moldy carpet. It probably smells even worse because this, as you're getting deeper into the house, there's fewer and fewer windows. In fact, you see very few windows in the house overall. And no sunlight is actually getting inside. So how are you seeing?
Shit.
Uh,
I'm not seeing.
I'll cast light on my sword.
All right. So Thornburg whips out his actually he's already got a two-handed sword out, but you cast light on it, which is pretty huge. I think it's like a 20-foot or 40-foot radius.
It's here. I'll
Just light
cast it.
glowing out the door.
Yeah, 20 foot. Yeah, light for 20 feet. Dim light for an additional 20 feet.
So, vermin like scatter everywhere upon light filling up the hallway, which leads into another court, sort of like a sitting room with like old, tattered, moldy sofas and chairs, and you see like a cobweb-filled fireplace, and you do also see what looks like a staircase, like a rickety old staircase with a very grimy-looking banister, papers and boxes and other, probably dead animals, maybe cats that just like died where they laid, littering the area all around you guys.
Why are you
But
people in here?
The staircase actually goes up to the second floor.
Are there giants in here? Why are we in here?
She invited us for tea. Want to be nice?
Yeah, it all started for tea.
I don't want tea anymore.
Being genuinely creeped out, I assume that Kareem is following Thornburg's direction, and
We're side by side.
the staircase
this
is only
together.
wide enough for one person to go at a
Okay,
time.
fine. He's in front.
So, is he in the lead, or are you in the lead?
You can go first. I'll follow. You
Okay,
got
then
a
I'm in
bigger
the lead.
shield than I do.
I'm in the lead then.
All right,
I'll
make
kind
a
of hold my
dexterity save.
hold my sword over him.
Make a deck save.
Yep.
What?
I'm go.
Woo!
All right, you're able to save yourself
love-
as your leg almost goes through, like a rotted step. And fortunately, you don't take any damage, but like huge splinters of wood just like rake up your leg, and your armor is able to deflect any damage that your leg would actually taken. Fortunately for you, but it does slow you down a little bit, and the rest of your party has to actually hop over the step as you continue on your way up.
It depends on who's coming. Who's coming? Is it just me and Thornburg? Or is there on a
I
coming?
assume the rest of them are following you as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming?
Yeah, we should all go up. We don't know what's up there.
Okay.
Okay. You come onto
Sound
the second
crazy.
floor, and it looks just as grimy as the hallway downstairs. do you see that there are a number of doors that are all closed? But how does I got to look up your detect. What is it? The ability called Thornburr again?
Divine sense.
Divine sense. Is it like
Yeah.
active as long as you concentrate on it?
It
No, it's not. It's an action until the
Yeah.
end of your next turn. Okay.
So it's
Okay.
6 seconds.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's kind of just like a pulse, and I kind of get an idea of what is around me.
Okay. Well, as soon as you get to the top step, Thornburn, you step out into this
I mean, you
hallway.
can do it again, though.
You see a door immediately close,
Uh-huh.
and then something pretty large, probably about the size of a small dog, like at least that's what you think your eyes saw, like skitters right into a room.
Oh,
Holy shit.
And then the staircase actually goes up to another flight above you.
Did I see any of that, too?
Oh, well, that's the thing that you saw.
Oh, that's what I saw.
Yeah, as soon as you got to the top step.
Oh, shit. I don't think we're the only ones in here.
did you see something?
What did you see?
Yeah, I saw some shit. It was scary.
Yeah, I'm trying to like see around his shoulders. Like, what'd you see? What'd you see?
Well, maybe it was just a cat. She has dead cats everywhere.
Let me do it. Let me
A large dead cat. That
try
was
this
alive.
thing again, and I again use my divine sense.
Okay. So your divine sense directs you at this point to not any of the rooms that are here on the second floor, but actually to the next floor above you.
There's 3 floors. Oh my!
You see that the staircase continues on up a really, really tight staircase, very, very narrow, and filled with cobwebs and grime, and but it looks like it goes up to a singular door.
The evil is up further.
We must explore.
I think we can skip this floor.
Getting the heebie-jeebies over here.
I think you probably just saw a cat.
No,
A very large
I
cat.
feel safe around cats and or other animals.
Or you can stay
all
on this
four
floor
of
and
you
speak to
are
the animal.
continuing up the steps
Yeah,
to go up to this attic door, or
Yeah.
what seems to be an attic door.
seems like it.
I keep going with them.
So what is the order here? It's Kareem, Thornburr. Who's-
I'll be after Thornbury.
He's asking for order. We're going into combat, guys.
So after, as you guys are about halfway up the steps, as you guys are about halfway up the steps,
So is Thornburr sensing undead? Is that what he's sensing?
that's what he
Yeah,
sensed when he uses his ability, but it only lasts like a very brief moment.
Yeah.
But Zinfel, you actually see what looks like a very large spider drop right onto Zorana's head.
Oh fuck! I don't see this.
It's not so large that it's like, you know, like a monster-sized spider. It's just a normal, very large spider. And
God, another swarm! It's beginning again. They're gonna
Like this
eat
big?
my books.
What do you see?
And Kareem, as you come up to the door, just as this is happening, you see that the lock itself looks very, very old, and the fixture, you know, the door knob resembles all the other doorknobs in the house. But this one in particular looks like it has a actual keyhole on it. Meanwhile, Zorana, who's in front of Zinfel, as Zinfel's like nervously trying to get her attention, right? At least that's what I heard Jay trying to do.
Spider! Spider!
Spider?
You say that, and just as he says that, Zorana, you feel like there is something on your head.
Did you say spider? I love spiders. Try and gently grab it onto my hand.
Oh God, no!
Yeah, sturdy save, Zorana.
I'd try to break that lock when I'm ready.
All All right. Well, as you're
Very
trying to break
gentle.
the lock and you hear somebody say "spider" behind you, you try to make a dexterity save to like try to grab this thing, and just as you do, you feel it. You feel it kind of brush your fingers or your hand, and it clamps right down into your hand, like right where your thumb and your wrist meet, in that meaty section of your palm. And make me a fortitude save.
Fortitude.
Fortitude.
You mean Constitution?
Constitution.
Oh yeah, sorry, Constitution.
What's Fortitude? Is that Pathfinder? Or... Holy crap!
Constituted as fuck.
So although it bites you and you take a point of damage, you are able to. Well, you don't think anything, right now as bad is going to happen to you, but it did actually bite you and it fucking hurts. And then as you fling your hand away, yelping in pain, the spider just falls down to the ground, and because Thornbur is in front of you guys, there's huge shadows in this hallway everywhere. So the spider just disappears into the grime of the floor. So at this point, I can imagine if you just saw a big spider and it fell to the floor, I know that I'm creeped out whenever I lose sight of a giant insect. I can imagine how you guys are feeling.
I think it's time to cast Fireball.
No, we're not setting this house on fire.
Well, I'm breaking that lock.
Right. So how are you breaking the lock?
I'm using the my shield to wedge
To
it.
bash it?
Yeah, and bash it.
All right. Why don't you make me a strength check?
Strength.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah.
So you're able to put your shoulder into it, and you slam your shield into the door in such a way that you're able to jam the bottom of it between the lock and the frame itself,
Mhm.
and it just flies open, and you're just hit with a huge wave of dust and stagnant air and the smell of rot, water rot.
I
And
think I'm going to throw up.
yeah, it's really, really bad and really, really potent. And as you did so, you just stumble into the room as well. Thornbur right behind you. Zarana cursing because she just got bit by a huge spider. Zinfo probably freaking out because she lost sight of the spider at her feet. But as you look inside. Oh, it's a really creepy attic as you look around. The shadows that are being cast from Thornbur's blade that's currently being lit. You see trunks. You see you see a large, almost what looks like puppet, just kind of sitting on a chair by
Clown
itself.
shit too.
It looks like it's made of wood, and it's got these huge painted eyes and this really creepy smile on its face, and it's looking directly at the door. You see what looks like an actual the actual shape of someone in a wedding dress.
I attack that thing.
You get to your feet for a moment, and you realize that it's not actually a wedding dress on a person. It's a wedding dress on what looks like a bust, like a mannequin.
Yeah.
But it's covered in cobwebs, and
Can
all
I attack
around. Yeah, sure, you can attack it. But one thing that particularly stands out here is that there is on the ground, clearly in front of all the other stuff that's in this attic that is very, very that is cluttering it, is a man, the skeleton of a man, whose hand, it looks like he's on his back. He looks like his hands are around his neck as if he's strangling himself, and he's in tattered clothes. And the only reason you know that it's a man is because the clothes do resemble a man's clothes. But otherwise, it is a skeleton. All you can see that remains is the hair that was once on his head, and obviously the clothes themselves.
Thornbur, what do you sense from this? Thornbur.
That's gross.
Thornbur!
I'm gonna do it again. Divine sense.
Were you muted or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I figured.
So using your divine sense, you definitely get the impression that this is the source of the undead that you detected.
The skeleton on the ground?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one. But it's not moving or anything, right?
At the moment, it is not moving.
I tag it.
This is the thing.
So you get up to your feet and how do you attack it?
I whip it.
All right, you whip out. So using your whip in this really really tight space
Yeah,
is
it's probably really hard, actually.
extremely hard.
Considering you have a really long whip.
And it's very sharp, and Thornburr is right behind you. You may have to use another weapon, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Um,
okay, that's
Just
fine.
go up to the skeleton and kick it.
I'll just take out my short sword that I got from the poisoned one. That
Yeah.
was poisoned.
It's not
And I'm going to attack him.
All right, so you whip out your short sword and you carefully step up to the skeleton that's on the ground, and just as you get right up to it, you see that it just springs to its feet with like a sudden quickness, like the sounds of its feet clicking on the ground, and the bones themselves, and it like cackles maniacally, like this hollow voice coming out of like nowhere, out of its skull, and it tries to swipe for you, but you are able to swing your weapon at it first because you were ready for it. And make me an attack roll. All right, give me a second here. A 13 and an 11. All right.
Well, no. The 13 was against the.
Oh, that was his whip. Wait.
That was me whipping my the wedding dress.
Oh, I didn't even notice you whipped the wedding dress. Okay.
So I just 11 on the short sword and then a 18 on the short sword.
Well, your first attack misses as it like dodges to the side,
Uh-huh.
like laughing at you. A swing comes for your head with its own, clawed hand. You duck under it though, and your second short sword strike like hits it smack right into the center of its chest. And as it does so, it just shatters to pieces. Just a rumple of clothes and bones on the ground.
That was it? Thornburr, sense
Well
again.
done. Well done.
Sense again. He could be somewhere.
Oh, okay. I do it again. My last use. My last time. Divine sense. Any more undead?
At the moment, no.
Yep. You got it. Well done,
Oh.
buddy.
Shit.
Assume a 16 did miss you, right?
Me?
Kareem?
Yeah, 16 would definitely miss me.
All right, well, you know.
I have an AC of
16's
20.
a lot for some of us, okay?
I know.
Well done, man. Let's
So, wait, it's not over yet. Oh, you guys busy?
I figured not.
I think it's over.
Of course it's not over. There's a spider back here. Can you boys stop diddling yourselves over there? There's a spider. It's the size of my hand. It's horrifying.
So, it's at that point though that as you guys are standing around, not standing around, but you just like shattered the skeleton in front of you. You take just a brief look around, and you can see that there is a large amount of. It's almost like the shadows themselves are wriggling, and you see that there's an open barrel, not too far away from where the skeleton was laying on the ground. The top of it looks like it was broken off, perhaps from the inside, because like the barrel itself that had a lid. The lid's like ajar and slightly broken. And as you're looking around and trying to get your bearings into the attic and seeing what else may exist here, you see that there is, like I said, like a large amount of wriggling in the walls, in the ceiling, and then something drops down in front of Kareem. And from what you can tell, it looks like a long black snake.
Guys, I think we should get the fuck
And you
out
are
of here.
surrounded like everywhere there are snakes coming out of like parts of the wall, parts of the ceiling, slithering out from the floor toward your position.
Fuck.
I
Why
start
are we
yelling,
here for tea?
let's get the hell out of here!
This is not tea. What, are we on a
Seraphina
plane?
appears right next to you again, Thorper, and she says,
Uh-huh.
"The bones."
Bones? What the hell are you talking about? They're snakes. I say,
I start panicking.
I say,
I started just attacking
shaking.
everything.
I
I'm
start
just
shaking Kareem. Yeah, get it,
I'm
Kareem.
just throwing my
kill them.
sword everywhere.
Me too. Ugh.
I'm just destroying anything I see. I don't care if it's a chest, if it's a lampshade. I'm attacking it.
Oh man.
What are the bones? What are the bones? Are they just on the ground?
Yeah, they're on the ground, like kind of partially in the clothes. Some of the bones, are scattered away from the clothing themselves. The skull is very close to you.
I grabbed the
Skull.
skull.
Oh, grab the skull. I think that's the
Yep,
wrong
I
move.
grabbed
All right, you grab the skull. There's snakes everywhere. You and Kareem are like quickly being surrounded by swarms of snakes. So this will be an attack on each of you guys.
Which one's me?
Fuck out.
The first one.
Of course.
Either one. Yeah. It gets me too.
Oh,
Oh, did I get both of you guys?
The target must make a DC 10. Okay.
Yeah, both of you guys need to make me saving throws.
Okay, I'm okay. So only
Oof.
6.
You only take the 6 piercing. Oh, that is nasty, man. I didn't even notice the swarm of poisonous snakes do that.
Holy shit.
Meanwhile, Zarada and Zinfel, there was only enough room for the two of them guys, but you kind of were poking your heads. Are you running away, or are you like helping them to defend against the snakes?
Nope, I'm here to fight giants. I'm going back down.
You run down the stairs with the quickness. What is Zarana doing?
I have my quarterstaff out, ready to whack something that comes near me.
All right, so you're helping them, sort of helping them out. It's hard to maneuver around with the quarterstaff, but you could definitely slam it down on things. But yeah, a swarm of snakes is gonna try to bite you as well. Then
9.
Yep.
9 will miss. No. So you have
And actually, on a successful, you still take half of the poison damage.
yeah, look at that. So
Oh,
gonna take
yeah.
10.
Yeah, so I took 14 damage from that.
woof,
Okay.
that's a lot of
Those
damage.
snakes hurt.
You didn't get hit, Susan, so it's fine.
What?
Yeah, Susan, you're
Wait,
okay,
I
Susan. You didn't get hit.
No.
I rolled a 9 to hit you.
Oh, I'm so. I tripped out.
So I pick up the skull in my hand.
Yes. Oh, Kareem,
And
you
I-
can make your attacks against the swarm.
Sure.
And then what do you do, Thornbear?
I just
I
toss
don't
it
think
up
either.
in the air and like I'm throwing up a baseball and then just swing at it two-handed with my sword as it comes down.
Oh, you're actually destroying the skull?
Yeah.
Joe, don't laugh at us.
So Seraphina, who's still there, says, "No, don't do that."
As I get ready to pitch it up, I'm like, batter up. What? No? What? Shit. Okay. Do I kiss it or something?
Kill it, maybe. I don't know.
I
He
said to
needs
be
rest.
or not to
What
be.
she says he needs rest. Very seriously, and then she fades away.
Oh, I gotta bury him. Shit. And I just turn around and I start running and I'm trying to push Zoran out of the way. Come on, we gotta go.
Why do you have a fucking skull?
Fuck
All
it,
right,
I'm just
so
running.
I assume you guys are all running at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
So you
I'm just fucking
scatter
running.
down the stairs. You try to go down the stairs as quickly as possible. You you go down the next flight of stairs as well, down to the ground floor.
Yeah, I'm running
Yeah.
out of the house.
Yeah, I'm trying to
You're
run
running
out.
out of the house.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with any of this shit anymore.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Well,
get out of the house.
As
and
you
bury
get,
the
as you
skull.
get down to the ground floor, with the the original hallway that led up that grimy staircase, you actually do see down the opposite end of the hallway, opposite of where the kitchen was, there is another what looks like light that's barely coming in from like a very, very darkened window that is next to a door that leads outside.
Someone outside.
I'm just running outside.
Yeah, I'm
So
just fucking
you're
around.
heading in that direction, avoiding the kitchen. You get to the door and you slam into it, realizing that it's locked from the inside.
What?
Oh, well then you can just unlock
Yeah,
it.
you unlock it and then you run out.
What are you doing to us, Joe?
Making sure we're paying attention.
Yeah. So you guys,
We can never leave now.
all of you guys are now out in the street in front of this woman's house.
I say we burn the house down.
That's
Um,
terrible. I mean,
Let's go. Let's just like maybe run into the woods and bury him. I feel like everybody likes
Just so
the
that
woods.
you know,
Throw that
Winter-
damn thing away and let's get the fuck
I
out of
know.
here.
What'd you say, Joe?
Winter is
Okay.
still by the outhouse.
okay.
Okay. Winter,
Let's
get,
grab.
get
Yeah.
over here.
Let's
Don't
run
drink
over there.
out of there. It's bad for you.
So I just run over to by kind of where we exited the woods, and find like a tree and just start digging the hole underneath it.
This is not
And-
proper.
I'm pretty sure that's not what you guys wanted to do at all. I'm pretty sure what she meant is you just put the skull back where it was and make everything look like what it was, but now you're trying to bury it.
Do you
No one
even have a
never knows
shovel?
what God wants.
But I didn't hear your god, so I don't really know.
So what are you doing? You're going into the woods and digging a hole?
You had to
Yeah.
put the skull in
How are you?
burying
How are
the
you
skull.
How are you digging a hole?
with his sword.
I just with my hands.
With your hands.
I just,
I just like I don't
Well,
I don't dig a deep one. It's just like deep enough to put the skull in and then put it back up.
So the ground here
You're gonna
is,
sleep real nice. You're gonna sleep real nice.
The Seraphina appears to you. She says, "No, Thornburg. Use your head."
Oh God, I was never really good at that.
oh my god, she wants you to put your head in the ground.
She says, "This man deserves justice."
Oh,
Oh, we
now
killed the
you're
old
speaking my
lady.
language.
No, now it makes sense. We killed the old lady.
Now you're speaking my language.
So,
I turn back to the group. I say, listen.
she fades after she says that.
Okay. I understand. I get you, Seraphina. We gotta go take care of this problem.
What are we going to
have
do,
take
Thornburg?
care of? Where
That
did the
woman.
lady go?
That evil woman. It must have been her.
How do you know she's evil?
Well,
She-
what
I
can we
mean, she's
do?
got pickled jars of snakes. I
Yes,
thought it was a
and I'm
quirk
not
at
okay
first,
with
but
that.
you know,
What are you suggesting, Thornburg?
Why don't
we gotta
just-
kill her.
Why don't we just bury him in a regular graveyard?
She's evil. She's gotta die.
Oh my
You can't
fucking
just
god.
kill a
Thornburg.
person
Righteous.
in the middle of town.
Well, it's on the outside of town.
An innocent old lady.
We're far from the middle of town.
Wait, did you put the skull away, or where's the skull? It's on the
Oh
ground?
no,
He's
I
holding
started
it.
burying the thing, but then
He's
that's not what
holding
I
it.
gotta do. I was confused.
Okay,
I'm often
Can I
confused.
take the skull from Thornburg?
It's on the ground.
Yeah, I just
at
like
the
left it
moment.
on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, I take that thing and I chuck it,
What are you doing?
and then I,
I think it's.
and then I
That
just
is
start,
not-
I just start booking it into town and just not caring.
What did you do?
No, Kareem, come on. Just help me kill this old lady real quick, and then we'll go do the other stuff.
Why don't we just find a
At least let's talk to her.
graveyard?
Come on, this woman.
We're done with this.
Lady?
We're done. We're
Is
just
she
leaving.
still getting water?
We never met an old
No,
lady.
no, no,
I don't know.
You
what
actually
you're
don't
talking
see
about
her
anymore.
anywhere. You do see that there is light coming
Ah.
from inside of her, inside of the kitchen.
She
And as
wasn't
you're
there when
looking
we
around
left.
at the outside of the house, you actually notice that there's only since you're kind of behind the house and in the woods, you only see 3 windows on this side.
And she wasn't down there when we all like walked out.
She was
Well,
in
she
the
was. We just. Yeah.
You went the
We shouldn't
opposite
go
way
in
of
there.
the kitchen, out the front door.
Oh,
So we did see her though.
okay.
We saw that someone was in the kitchen.
You saw that someone was in the kitchen when you come around to the back of the house, to start burying the skull.
Come on, that lady. I thought she was all right, but once I saw her attic, she
Look.
sucks. Let's go take care of her.
Let's
How
not
about we
just go
just
kill
leave
random
her?
strangers. Let's just get the fuck out of here. Why do we have to deal with any of this?
She's
Let's just.
gonna croak on her own, okay? Let's just bury the skull in
All
the
right.
graveyard like sane people.
That's what I thought. That's what I was trying to do. But
This
you
isn't a
know.
graveyard. This is an orchard.
Screw it.
Yeah.
Fuck the orchard. Fuck the skull. Let's just get the fuck out of here.
So, it's kind of a little dark out, and not only that, but you actually, Thornbird's sword is still glowing, and you guys are kind of hanging out in the trees, and you hear, since nobody was really paying attention to what's going on the road, you actually see that there is a dude up on a horse, dressed like a guard, and 3 other guards,
Good job.
kind of half, holding weapons in front of them, saying, "Whoever's out in them woods, you come on out now."
Oh, thank God. Civilization.
Let's just have them deal with it.
Yeah, we.
Hey,
We can see your light.
I guess we would go up to him.
hey, howdy, friends.
Howdy. What are the rest of you ladies and lads doing out here in the woods? And the guy who's speaking is kind of a guy with like a salt and pepper blonde mustache. Does that make
can talk?
sense?
Yeah.
And there's 3 other dudes. One guy's actually got his arm in a sling, and otherwise they all appear to be just like human guards holding spears. One guy's spear is like very, very shaky in his hands, and the dude up on the horse, he looks to be a little bit more experienced, and he's the guy that's doing all the talking.
Look, we came from Neverwinter, and we're here to investigate giants and giants trouble. And we just met up with this lady over here in this house. She's crazy. Do you know about her? I'm sure you do. There must be stories from the town, correct?
Yeah,
Why don't you
you
make
guys
me
know.
a persuasion check as he looks really suspiciously at you and looks at all of you up and down. And he says, "Neverwinter, eh? All right, you look like adventuring folk to me, not
We
some
are.
bandits."
No.
Says, "What are you doing outside, old lady?" What's this fucking woman's name?
That's how I feel too.
Old lady Histrin's house.
We went here to ask her for some information about what the attacks that happened here. She happens to be the first house on the road here.
She invited
So
us for
we figured-
tea.
She had a skeleton in her attic.
She had a
Turned into
zombie
a
in
bunch
her
of-
attic.
There was a bunch of snakes.
Wait. When you say that, they get like really like curious looks in their face, and they all start looking at each other. What did you just say? She's
Yeah, I
got
think she-
a skeleton in her attic?
Yeah, we think she might have killed her husband. You know, you
One of
guys
the
should
guys
really.
says,
This is really
"Oh,
your jurisdiction
shit."
here.
One of the dudes, one of the guards with him says, and he says, Wait a minute. You gotta explain all this to me. How do you know that she's got some sort of skeleton in her attic?"
Well, here's
we were
the
just up
skull
there.
right here.
No, you threw the skull.
You
into
threw it
the-
into the woods.
It was here. I had it. It's over there somewhere now.
Yeah, we had the skull, but then we threw it into the woods.
That sounds very
We've kind of had a tumultuous last 10 minutes. But
Of it.
if you go up in the attic, There's the
Don't
rest of
go
the
up in the
bones. I
attic.
think there's a bunch of snakes.
And
Yeah, don't do
everybody
that.
talk at once now, all right? Just tell the story from the beginning. You, and he points at Thornbury. Says, "You seem like a sane one. Why don't you say it?"
Yes, nailed it.
Nailed
Yeah.
it. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm sane.
so we went over there, and this lady, we met her coming off the road, and she invited us in for some tea. We came in, smells terrible. There's snakes in jars all over the place.
With their teeth.
I looked at a picture of her husband after she told us he was dead, and she was being kind of weird about it. And then my spirit guide came and told me to look out, and I used this crazy undead sense thing that I can
Jesus,
do.
he just puts his hand up and he says, "Spirit guide."
Yeah,
Maybe
and
I
I can.
picked the wrong one of you to tell the story.
Thornbury,
No, I'm
show
the same
him.
one. It's
Show
true.
him your spirit weapon.
Yeah, look. And I hold up my weapon.
All
And
right, you got a sword
cast
with
light
light
on it
cast
again.
on it.
Yeah, look.
Hey, what kind of magic
I
do you
shake it
do?
around a little bit.
Hey,
I used
Yeah.
it, like those like those little like collapsible lightsabers that you had as a kid that had the light in them, and you would move them real fast, and they would look cool. That's what I'm doing with the sword.
I
I start making noises.
Old lady Histrin invited you in for tea. You get into her house. You say there's a bunch of
Snakes.
What did you say?
Snakes in
Snakes?
jars.
jars. And the
Snakes
house
and
is-
jars. Yeah.
And then
And-
somehow you found the skeleton.
In
Yeah, I
the attic.
sensed that something was
Correct.
fishy upstairs. She went to get us some water. We all went up and snooped in her attic, and there was a skeleton. There was this weird big puppet thing. It was very weird up there.
yeah, there's
Giant
a lady in a
spiders.
dress.
We killed the skeleton. All these snakes came out of the walls and attacked us.
I got bit by a spider.
Yeah, she got bit by a
I got
spider.
bit by a
Your hand
snake.
is like all swelled right now. By the way.
Yeah, we got all fucked
Do,
up
do I
by
have a
snakes.
do I have a bleeding wound where the snake bit me? Can I show him that?
Yeah, we probably.
Yeah, you,
right?
you had some marks on your legs. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
look,
show him my leg.
me and Kareem got fucked up.
Yeah.
Those things hurt. That poison sucks.
All right. I think I heard enough. Let's just sit tight here. Don't move a muscle. I don't want you boys and girls going anywhere. And I'm gonna send a couple of my guys here, and they're gonna go take a look inside and talk to old lady Histrin.
Yeah, send one
in
upstairs.
the
to
meantime-
third floor.
Why don't one of you go find that skull and bring it back here?
Fuck.
Cream?
How far did I throw it?
I don't know, like 30 feet.
Not that far.
You threw it, but it was like a throw behind you, and you're like, it ends up in the bushes, like in the trees. You're like, you go search for it for like 10 minutes, and finally you do find it. It's like in a bush somewhere. And the two of the guards out of the four, they went inside the house, and you see that that one of the guys, he comes out with what looks like a large crate, and one of the other guys comes out vomiting.
Hey, I
And
told you.
the guy up on the horse, he gets off his horse. He's got like a little bit of a paunch in his belly, and he kind of walks like he's got a stick up his ass. But he goes up to one of the guys, and they start like excitedly talking. And as he looks inside the crate, which has got this piece of cloth over it, he peeks inside, looks back at you guys, and then says, bring that skull over here, boy." And he looks at Kareem. Motions
Okay.
you over.
Go.
I go over and I bring the skull.
He says, "This looked like the skeleton you saw upstairs, and as you look inside of the crate, you see the bones that you found, and some of them, even the clothes that the guy was wearing, is still with the bones."
I plop the head where it should be.
Well, you plop the head like in the group, and he says, "All right, You did good. You did good. And he kind of gives you a clap on the shoulder.
We deserve a reward.
Maybe. We need to confirm a few things here and look in the rest of the house. And but you know what? Why don't you go head on into town, and I'll have one of the guards escort you here. This guy's name is Babber. So Babber here, he's gonna escort you.
And what was your name? You look like the captain or something.
He says, Skolnick.
Skolnick. Oh, that's fitting.
That's Skolnick.
Wow.
Yeah. So, we'll let Darathra know that you're here. She's captain of the guard here in Tribor, and in the meantime, I think you should head over to the square and find yourselves a room.
Right. Good idea.
Sounds good. Let's get out.
Because,
Our work is
We've
done.
got a couple of inns in town. One's called the North Shield House. It's held by a retired adventurer, one of you types. Her name's Ergala Meltimer. You tell her that Skolnick sent you, and in the meantime, Darathra is there as well, recovering from some wounds. He looks like he's about to tell you why, and then he keeps his mouth just becomes like a thin line. I guess.
Was it the Giants?
He looks at you and he says, "How do you know about them giants?"
We're
We're
giant hunters.
We fought some.
We're actually called the Stone Sworn. Have you heard of us?
He looks at the rest of the guys. "No, I ain't here to you.
God damn it.
Well,
You're
I
a
think
giant
we just
hunters
killed.
like you say you are, and you're not causing any trouble in our town, then you're more than welcome here." He just tells Darathra that Skolnick sent you, and we'll get the word out that we found these bones in old lady Histrin's house.
Right.
Jeez. He just seems like completely, almost shocked. He says, "If this is what I think it is, you just solved a 20-year mystery, my friends."
Booyah! What a way to enter a town.
Call us the Mystery Gang.
Oh,
No, don't do that. We're Stone Sworn. We're Stone Sworn.
Stone Sworn. Right. Alright. Like I said, we got some evidence to collect.
Right.
You boys go get old lady Histrin, he says to the guards.
All right, good job,
so-
everyone. High fives all around.
You guys walk, following his directions toward the center of town.
We all
where-
jump up.
You're
Legs up. High five.
You're heading toward the inn that he mentioned, which was called
The Nord Shield House.
the North Shield House.
North Shield.
And as you're traveling along this road here, you pass a few other buildings. This building here that I just clicked on, you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Who's this guy?
This looks like it was an inn. You actually see a sign outside that looks like a frog, painted to look like he's covered in ice, and it's snowing. But the inn looks like it's all boarded up, and and even the windows themselves, they look like they have dicks drawn on the windows.
Dicks.
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 Oh. Nice.
But you passed that place.
Can we
And
peer
you-
inside before we pass it?
You can.
You pass that place. You
Okay.
you you can peer inside, but it looks completely dark and empty.
Okay, that's how I
because
figured.
night is beginning to fall.
Right.
So there's not much
Sure.
to see. I'm trying to get you to the North Shield house. I just need to find where it is in the fucking map.
Okay.
Just give me a second here.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. 'Cause I'm
Sure,
dying.
sure.
Is everybody okay from that adventure?
No more old ladies and
Yeah.
snakes.
I mean, that hurt a little bit, but
Guys have to stop talking to people.
Yeah,
know.
you're right.
I'm sorry. I lose focus. I just want to, you know. But look at we solved like a 30-year-old mystery. That's not a wasted
Yeah.
afternoon.
Maybe we'll get the reward.
The the justice is the only reward for Thornburg.
I agree.
could use more than justice.
All right. While she's taking a bathroom break, why don't we do that? Why don't we take a little 5-minute break here?
Sure.
Yeah. That sounds
As
good.
you find the map.
Well, I will take the creepy music off.
I was dying. Also, that was a lemon cream pie I was eating
Nice.
from the store.
That was like a quarter of the whole pie.
Oh, it's a part of a 9-inch pie. I don't know. It's not that. It's not a quarter of the pie. I would eat a quarter of the pie, but
I'm just messing with you.
I'd eat the whole pie. Yeah.
All right, is
here.
Jay and
Yes.
Eric back?
Yep.
All right, good. So yeah, you walk through town of various buildings, but you follow signs that generally lead you to what looks like the North Shield House. And from what you can tell on the outside, it looks like a fine local inn. It looks stately, clean, and quiet. You can see that it is multiple floors. I'd say probably about 3. And as you walk inside, you can actually see that there is the guard that you saw before. He motions over to you guys as he seems to be talking to a dark-skinned woman that looks like this. She nods to him, and then she gives you guys a smile and opens up her arms wide, and she says, "Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the North Shield Inn. I heard what you did at Old Lady Histrin's house." She says, Barbar here was just telling me about it.
Well, it's our pleasure.
She says, interesting. If you truly solved what happened to Old Lady Histrin's husband. Damn, it's been so long, I don't even remember his name.
Wait,
Me either.
it was something like Mirak or Morak. I knew a Morak. I think it's Mirak.
Yeah, that's it. Mirak. That's what it was. Who knew that Old Lady Histrin had Mirak's bones up in her attic? She says, that house is downright creepy, isn't it? We call it 6 windows, you know that?
Did you guys
Where's
really not
that?
suspect anything? She was pretty weird.
Oh, yeah. Old Lady Histrin's been off her rocker for years. She says, pretty weird indeed. We call it, she turns to Kareem, she says, we call it 6 windows because that's all it's got. 6 windows.
That's not very creative.
I guess not. People at Tribor aren't very creative. She says, but welcome, welcome. I know that you're pretty ripe. She says, I think you all need baths and rooms right away. My name's Ergalon Meltimer. She says, I'm a retired adventurer as well. Well, not as well. I mean, you're not retired, obviously.
Well, I could be.
You could be. She says, it's always interesting to have exotic foreigners here in town. She says, don't get many of your types around here. Where are you from?
Around.
No, I don't think so. You got quite an accent.
Don't worry about it.
She says, you're definitely not from Chult. I'll have to think about this one. Give me a day or 2. She says,
Yeah, I'll give you one.
so am I going to learn your names or what?
Yeah, I'm Thornburg.
My name's Kareem.
I'm Zorana. This is Winter.
I am Zimbel, Emberbrand of Neverwinter.
Oh, well, actually, Winter's not with you. He's outside because
Oh, yeah.
you're the inside of the inn.
I thought we were. Yeah. That's
But you do stable him to a nearby post where he can
So are
like
you-
stand under a car.
Mhm.
So he's shielded from the elements. Oh, and by the way, like I said, when you got here into town, this place looked like it was under a lot of construction, and there was a significant amount of damage to the surrounding areas. In particular, you think that you saw right here in this area will look like a giant hole with posts sticking up out of the ground. With rope, like kind of cordoning off that area. The hole probably easily had to have been 15, maybe 20 feet wide.
And this is outside of the.
This was outside in the corral area right here. And the inn itself is this building.
There's a giant hole.
There was a giant hole in this
Could you-
corral.
Could you? Oh, it's the one we're next to.
Did you
Okay.
guys have a large stone in the middle of the city?
She looks at you. She says, "No, this
What-
ain't Nightstone."
Did you have any large object in the middle of the city, like a
Yeah,
statue?
what
It's a
happened over there?
corral.
She says, that's a pretty good guess. She says, how about you tell me what you know and I'll tell you what I know over some drinks. Once you've had a bath. I can't have you stinking up the place.
That's fair.
She says, you want rooms or not?
Dude, last time a
I'll
stranger
take it.
lady invited us to have a drink with her, it did not turn out too well.
Well,
That's
I'm
true.
no stranger lady. I'm actually the proprietor of this inn. She says, and on top of that, I'm not the only one here, so I won't be drugging you or anything upstairs in your rooms. She says, if you need some help, any of the waiters or waitresses out there would be more than willing to help you out and get some food in your bellies. She says,
I wish
but I'm
I
not
wish
letting
I
you
did.
anywhere near my common room or my dogs, for that matter, without you having a bath
Man.
first.
That's fair.
Okay.
She says, things aren't cheap, though. She says, it's going to cost you a little bit for the night.
Also fair.
Wait, but we're heroes of the city. We just solved the mystery of the dead.
We ain't solved shit yet.
God damn it.
The town's under construction, Kareem. They need to rebuild.
That's right. That is exactly right. And we need every copper piece we can get. Not that my inn costs copper pieces.
No, hey, I think we'd be happy to pay for some rooms. You know,
I assume you'll be needing some hot food as well, and maybe a couple ales to go wash it down with.
of course, I don't partake myself, but I know these guys like to drink.
I don't.
Do you have anything exotic?
Aside from a slice of you, sugar.
I don't know how to respond.
That's all right. She pinches your cheek. I'm only messing with you. She says, look, my rooms are very comfortable. She says, 8 silver pieces from each of you get you the room for the day. You want food to go with that? That'll cost you another 5. She says,
Fine by
you want
me.
some drink? She says, I can get you each a pitcher of wine for another 2. Why don't we say, how about this? How about an even 10 gold for the lot of you? And you're free to drink and eat as much as fills your bellies tonight. And you got a comfortable room for yourself as well.
I'll put down 10 gold. And I'll say, I'll take some tea. Not old bugs and snakes.
Wait, did she say 10 gold from
No,
each of us, or
No.
10 gold for the whole
For
group?
the whole party.
Soldier.
Okay.
She
Perfect.
says,
Yeah.
tea, I can manage that. I got some
I,
nice apple cider tea that I think you'll like.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'll get me one of those. That, as weird as that experience was before, it did get me in the mood for tea. Strangely.
Here. And she goes behind what looks like a little, kind of like a host counter that you would see at a restaurant or something like that. And she ducks into it, pulls out what looks like a handful of keys, each on their own key ring, and she hands them to each of you. She says, all 5 rooms are on the 2nd floor. They're all right next to each other. She says, just try not to damage the place. Make sure you put your weapons up on the racks, things like that. And I'll have bats start to be drawn in the common bathing area. Does that work all right?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
I have like dry
Just
mud
great.
in my hair at this point.
Could you?
Yeah, you're a little covered in mud. You should do something about that hand too, miss.
It's fine.
She'll be all right. She'll be all right.
All
We've
right.
had worse.
I can help her out.
All right.
Dude, could you point us? We're looking for someone named Zarathra.
Zarathra? You don't mean Darathra, do you?
That's probably what I mean. I'm bad with names.
She says, oh yeah, she's sitting in the sitting room right now, enjoying a nice cup of ale, sitting by a fireplace and getting warm. Thinking hard on the past few days, healing up her wounds. She's got a broken arm and leg, that one.
Oh,
From the fight with the giants.
She says, very same.
Hmm.
Well,
yeah. Let's go.
Well, she ain't going anywhere. I can
Yeah,
attest
okay.
to that. So,
Maybe we should
Let's talk
clean
to her.
up. Maybe we should clean up.
we'll
Oh,
not be-
yeah.
we'll not be
Stinky.
Look
chatting.
presentable.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I think we should
you come on
just clean
down when
up.
you're ready then. In fact, I'll put a few oatmeal cookies in the oven for you. How about that?
Oh, you are just a delight.
Is there
She
is there
blushes.
music in this establishment?
She says, no, unfortunately not tonight. Haven't had a bard pass through since the attack. She
Interesting.
says, you want some
Too bad.
fancy music, you go to the other house.
Emin had a
The
harp.
abandoned one?
She says, oh yeah, there's a fancy Water Daven place just up the road here. She
There
says,
was some phallic drawings on a building.
ah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was one of the other inns that closed up shop. She says,
After the attack or before?
oh, way before.
Way before. Okay.
It's been probably months since that place has had an owner.
The
She says,
vandalism must be from some kids, I assume.
She nods. Yeah, you could say something like that.
Interesting.
She
response?
says that place is called the Frost Touched Frog. She says
Ah.
it's been a long time. Let's just say that. Tribor's
Mystery.
a meeting place, if you will. A lot of things happen in this town. A lot of people come in and out.
What can you tell me of Yartar?
I'm not going to tell you another word until you take a bath, my friend.
Okay, that's fair.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Good, good. She kind of like smiles warmly, but you know,
Yeah.
kind of
Y'all
shoves you up the
stink.
stairs. And you each find your rooms. You take off your stuff and lay them down, and you start to relax. And assuming that you guys are all gonna pay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my armor in my room. I'm not even gonna put it on.
That's fine
Sounds like a good decision, right, guys?
for later.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
think I would do the same thing.
sure.
Wear some
Just gonna relax
normal
for once.
clothes.
So maybe about an hour later, you guys more or less finish up, and you come back downstairs as a group. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
The only thing I have on me. Oh, go ahead.
You come downstairs to the smell of fresh baked cookies, the sweet scent of cinnamon in the air. It's really warm and comfortable down here. It's quiet. You hear the murmur of patrons just kind of casually talking to themselves or in small groups, kind of like as if you were in a restaurant. And you occasionally hear the clinking of silverware and plates or glasses. And she motions for you guys to take a table, tells you the waiter's name is Jenny, and Jenny takes your orders as she provides you a menu of a variety of different food. But particularly special tonight is buttered chicken leg and some fried potatoes.
Wow, that sounds good.
I'll just get whatever sounds the most exotic to me, which is basically everything. So I'll just buy one of something. I don't know.
So I'll tell you a secret, Kareem, since you're new to this kind of food. Everything has butter in it. So when butter is in the title, that means there's a lot
extra
of butter.
butter.
In it.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'll take the butter.
That means you're in
chicken
for a
legs
treat.
with extra butter.
Sure.
Butter everywhere. It's going to be great.
Yeah, the oddest thing to you, Kareem, is something on the menu called quail, which is something you've never heard of.
I'll take one of that,
Sure.
but with butter.
All right, you got it.
That's the spirit.
All right, so Jenny, which is kind of like a pretty blonde with freckles and hair back in a ponytail, she goes off and gets you guys your food and drink. And in the meantime, Argala walks over and she says, "Everything all right? You guys look like you cleaned up pretty well."
Thank you.
It felt really nice. Thank you for the suggestion.
I cleaned my jacket too.
She
Still wearing my
nods.
jacket.
Well, I'll give you fair warning. She points over to a corner and she says, "That there is Darathra, but she's kind of ornery at the moment, being that she's in a little bit of pain, and we don't really have a healer in town that can mend her bones lickety split, if you know what I mean."
I mean, we have a healer here.
We can heal
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
I can't really do that though.
for bones. Not for bones.
Yeah, I tried before. Remember with Zinfel's dad.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, you
learned.
need some really strong magic, like regenerate or something.
Some
things time needs to heal.
I want to ask her, have you ever met anybody like me before? Came by recently?
She says, "Like you? No, I don't think I
Yes.
met anybody with a face as pretty as yours."
You are such a flirt.
You're too young for me anyway, son. She says, "But no, not that I recall. Never had one of your type around here."
Interesting.
Hmm.
I wonder where Tact went off to.
She says, "That a name?"
That is a name, actually. A tiefling.
Well,
Did
you
that-
ain't tiefling. You're human.
Yes, but we're from the same place.
And what place is that?
Mohorand.
See, I knew it. I knew you were from some far-off exotic land.
Yes.
He says, "No, come to think of it, we got tieflings in town, but no one with an accent like yours. And at least nobody new that's passed through here.
His
But
accent's a
I'll
little.
keep an eye out. Could be it's staying at one of the other places in town."
Okay. Oh,
Uh,
thank you for the information.
She says, "You're welcome." Would
Hey,
be
Kareem.
curious to know what you know about giants, though. You did mention that before.
Yep, we're hunting them.
Well, you know what? I'll let you boys and girls eat and fill your bellies first, and then I'll come on over and have a talk. How
Wait.
about that?
Do you know of a book repair?
A book
Zinfeld.
repair?
Zinfeld needs help with that.
No, sorry. Can't help you out there. You might be able to get some books from the Coster in town.
Anybody magical?
Magical?
Yes.
Like wizards.
You have a wizard in town?
Yeah, we do. She says, I don't like him very much, though. Frankly, I don't really want to give him any business.
Can I get the name? Or direction?
No. Maybe he didn't understand me the first time. She says with a smile.
I take out a gold coin. How about now?
She says, I don't think any amount of money is gonna make me want to help out that old asshole.
Really? So like
But if you must, she says resignedly. She says, there is a place called the Everwyvern House. Alright? And let me just say that despite the looks of the property, the place is only filled with a bunch of assholes and actors. Okay? And if you want some music, you're more than welcome to go over there. But the place is held up by a proprietor by the name of Draven Millavir. And frankly, as I said, he's a bit of a jerk, and I don't really want to give him any business, but he is skilled in the arcane arts. Not that that means anything, because he didn't help out with anything during the giant attack, so there's that.
Zinfeld, how is your book?
Half eaten. I need lots of inks. There's a few spells that I can write down, but some that are lost forever. So, yeah.
What? Isn't there
Well,
a spell that
If
could...
you're looking for stuff, I mean, you're more
And
than
it-
welcome to go to the Lion's Share. I can give you directions. They do sell inks and papers and the like.
That would be lovely.
She says, I'll put it on a piece of paper for you, and you're free to find it on your own time.
Thank you.
She says, but a couple of young proprietors of the store by the name of Alestra and Narth. Good people.
Paper people are always good people.
Well, they sell a lot more than just paper. They're trying to run a business after all.
Right.
Did you have something else you wanted to say, Kareem?
Well, I thought you were going to leave and let us eat, of course.
Oh, of course. All right, I can take the hint. She puts her hand.
No, I don't have another question. What do you know of Yartar?
Yartar.
Right.
Says,
I've heard a great
well,
deal of bad
that's
things.
a loaded question. There's a lot to know about Yartar.
Is there any peril going on in Yartar right now?
She says, not that I know of.
Did you hear of the peril in Golden Fields?
She says, I heard a rumor. She says something about some giants and goblins attacking.
Hmm.
I heard there was a big attack down there. Why? Did you have something to do with it?
Yes, we saved
At
the
least the
town.
defense of the town?
Yes, we saved it.
You saved it? Really? She looks at you for a moment, like kind of judging if you're pulling her chain or not. And she says, oh, seems like you're telling the truth.
Sure
Look
to
at that.
tell.
I got honest to goodness adventurers in my inn today. Alright, let me get that plate of cookies.
Right.
I speak in my
Yes.
language.
Cookies.
This is what I thought the old lady was gonna be like.
So,
Old ladies are bad. No more old ladies.
Yes, we killed them on sight. From now on, we're making a pact.
Kareem!
Every old lady
Seems a
we
little
see
extreme.
must die.
No.
That's not what
I'm
I
not
meant.
sure if that's the way to go.
We change our name. We're no longer the Stone Swarm. We're the Grandma Killers.
The grandma killers.
I'm just kidding. This ale is getting to me already. It's strong.
I thought you had
Jenny comes over with a plate of cookies and a pitcher of cold milk. And she says, "Oh, Argala asked me to top all of you off." And she also has a pitcher of ale in her other hand that she gives you guys, along with the tea that you guys had ordered as well.
Ale and milk, my favorite combination.
Tea and milk, and I grabbed like 4 cookies.
All right. So your food shortly comes thereafter. Those of you that ordered the butter chicken leg and fried potatoes, it's super delicious.
How's the quail?
For Kareem, who ordered the quail, that's really good too, although a little bit on the oily side. But you're also given a couple of what looks like eggs that are covered in meat and then deep fried, and they are fucking really good.
Oh yeah.
Ah, this is
Okay.
good stuff.
This is great food. Wonderful.
Maybe we could have her travel with us and cook. What?
Friends, what are we
Agree.
going to do next in here?
Well,
Solve
Do we
more
have-
mysteries in old ladies' houses, apparently.
Was there anybody we had to contact here?
This is the only
I
town we
forgot.
didn't have anybody to contact in.
Seriously?
No. There was Morak's friend and neighbor who was eaten by giant rats in the cave by the goblins.
Oh, that's
Right.
terrible. I'm not giving that news.
Wait, that's what we have to give that news?
His ex-wife lives here. I'm sure she won't mind the news.
I suppose if we're here, we should. And then Kareem, you're trying to find that dude, but I think
Yes,
that's the
I'm
only
trying-
real things that we have going on here.
We could also try to help Zinfa with her book that was destroyed by Locust, something. The bug
Bugs.
things.
Lots
Yes.
of bugs. I hate bugs. Worms.
Buy a new one.
Yeah.
Buy a new
Do we
book.
want to buy a new one here,
That's not how
or
this works.
repair this one?
It's
You
a bit
can't
complicated to just.
buy a new spell.
What about mending it? Would that give this stuff back, including all the information on it?
No. We tried that already.
Oh, that's right.
I just have
Shit.
to write the ones that I still have memorized down and regain the ones that I've lost. I gotta find them
Hmm.
again.
But the wizard could help us with that, right?
Possibly, but that stuff is expensive.
Not if he's an asshole.
Well,
do
we
we-
could always
Yeah, what's the
beat them up.
etiquette? What's the? Do wizards usually just hand over their spell books like that?
Probably not.
That you just copy them?
There's usually a fee if they'll let you see it at all.
Yeah. People guard that stuff, I bet.
We
Considering...
could steal it.
No, Kareem. No.
Think about stealing a spellbook from a wizard. It would be so much fun.
No.
That's
Kareem, no.
I think you were corrupted in that attic.
What's that?
Spent too much time in that attic and got a little corrupted.
Yes. No, not today.
All right. Well,
What time of day is it?
it's
It's
nighttime. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Time
probably
for bed.
about 9 o'clock.
So why don't we talk to that Durathra, and then head out, go to sleep, and then head out tomorrow to try and talk to anyone we can find, those people that we need to talk to, and then where do we want to head after that? Want to
Well-
head over to Yartar?
Well,
It's
just as
difficult-
you're saying that, the guard that you saw before, Barbar, comes back in, and he seems to be holding something underneath his arm. It looks like it's maybe about 4 or 5 feet long, wrapped in a cloth. And he walks up to you guys. Are just watching him as he walks across the room past you guys, gives you guys a nod, and then like a little bit of a goofy smile. And young guy with like pimples on his face, and he walks up to Durathra, who kind of has her back to you and like blankets on and her legs up on like a stool and her arms in a sling. And he walks up to her and he's holding this bundle and he's like whispering to her. And then he's pointing at you guys with his other hand. And you see she kind of like looks over her shoulder at you guys, and this is the first chance you get to see her face.
Whose face? Oh, the guard lady.
Durathra.
Got it.
Okay. What's it look like?
It's hideous. No.
Oh god.
Why is this kid just carrying bones inside an inn?
You see, she's
Well,
kind of got like
could
a
be a
little bit.
snake.
She's kind of got like squinty eyes. She's got like short, not short, like short, dark bangs, but otherwise long hair and black and in a ponytail. And she's got this really serious look in her face, and she's got what looks like a toothpick sticking out of her mouth. Anyway, she, with her unbroken arm, she looks like she's holding like a glass of maybe brandy or some other dark brown liquid. And she nods at you guys, looks over her shoulder, and then tips the glass back. And then she kind of motions for you guys to come to her.
How do we feel about this? Old ladies haven't treated us well today.
This woman is
not
not
that
old.
old.
She looks like she's
She's
mature and maybe in her late 30s.
Oh, never mind.
Did you guys see the
Yeah.
journal entry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I see it now. All right, let's go talk to her. I'll walk
Yeah.
up.
Why not?
I'm grabbing a cookie.
Hello.
Grab a cookie. Says, hello. Pull up a chair.
You pull
I
up a
do.
chair.
As you guys are looking at her, you notice that she's got the cloth bundle on her lap. And as I described, it's about 5 feet long.
What's in there?
Body.
That's
It looks flat. Maybe only about this wide. You guys see that?
Sure.
Okay.
That's not what I think it is it?
Is that the snake?
What do you think it is?
The bones.
No, it looks too straight and rigid to be the bones.
Okay.
In fact, why don't you just make me an intelligence check? I'll give you advantage. Just Serana. Hold on a second. I need to-
Oh, advantage. Right.
Oh, good thing, because you rolled a 1. It actually looks like a longbow. The shape of it gives you the impression that there's a longbow in the cloth.
Not skeleton.
She says, not a skeleton. She says, don't be shy now. Go ahead and pull up a seat. My name's Durathra Shendril.
Nice
She
to meet
says,
you. My name's Kareem.
Nice to meet you as well, Kareem. And who are the rest of your companions here?
Thornbert.
Zorana.
Zinfel Emberbrand of Neverwinter.
She says, all right, fellow neighbor to the north. Nice to meet you all. She says, so, what are you doing in my little town? Aside from solving 20-year murders.
We heard about giant attacks, and we came here to attempt to help, but it looks like we were too late.
It says, too late, damn right you are too late. Giant attack happened 10 days ago. Nearly lost my arm and leg. Couple ribs, too, broken up.
How many giants were there, may I ask?
She says, 2 fire giants. Big ones. Looks like a male and a female that were here. In addition to a few orcs on axe beaks. You know what those are?
We just
Yep,
passed some,
yep.
including fire giants.
You don't say. She says,
It was a man and a
these
woman.
other little critters called the magmins. Little, kind of like imp-sized, halfling-sized, covered in fire. Little beasts. I managed to kill all those, but not before they lit fire to a few buildings in town. I lost 20 good men and women that day, you know?
It's terrible.
Damn right it's terrible.
Did you
All
defeat
these
the
giant
giants?
attacks on the north were terrible. Says, you know what they were freaking here for? You'll
Money.
never guess. No, not money.
A statue?
A giant rallied
An
on
item.
the floor.
She looks at you.
A
How did you guess that?
tree.
Mm,
They've been
process
digging
of
around.
elimination.
Yeah, it's kind of
A
their
fence
thing.
post.
We got it. We already got it, Kurt.
What? Oh.
It was a relic.
That's right. She says, that's right. These giants, they came here. They're holding some big hunk of metal. Kind of look like a giant
dildo.
silver broomstick or something. I don't know.
Calm down.
And, oh, right? Said that.
Did they even? Is dildo like? I'm not even gonna ask. Never mind.
Those were invented in like the Victorian era. You know, I think it's
It exists.
possible.
Me and Serrana know.
You don't know what I know.
I hear things.
Anyway, as I was saying, one of these 2 giants, they were holding some big silver rod. Like I said, it looked like a big broomstick.
Broomstick, right?
And they went over to the North Caravan campground. Maybe you might have passed it, because there was a big 15-foot hole in the ground now. And anyway, they used their weapons, managed to dig up something right out of the earth. Something that I'd never seen before, and in my all these years of living here in Tribor, I never even knew existed. It was deep down in there, but apparently it was some long band of iron, or some sort of iron. It definitely looked really bright, although it was covered in dirt. But,
Was it attached to any chains?
no, not at all.
No.
Kind of looked
Okay.
like, had like the arc of a bow to it. Oh, probably pretty long, I would say.
What's in your wrap?
Maybe 12, 10 feet long at the very least. Looked damn near heavy, too.
Huh.
Anyway, they pulled it up out of the
Bonnet
earth, and looked so heavy the giants had to drag it along the ground. And then God knows what they did with it, because they, as soon as they found it, they took off in a northern direction. And frankly, we didn't have the manpower to stop them or do anything about it. Meanwhile, those orcs and magmen were raping and pillaging and looting the town to all high holy hell, until we finally managed to chase them out after we killed all the magmens. All in all, pretty shitty fucking day, if I kind of say.
I can imagine.
Sure looks like it.
Orcs suck. I hate them.
Well, if you really want to know more, I probably would suggest talking to the keeper of the North Caravan Campground. His name is Dars. He was there to witness exactly what happened. And not that you'll get much more information on him than I did, but maybe he might know a thing or two.
Did you see these giants?
Oh,
With your
yeah.
own-
I saw them. How do you think I broke my arm and leg?
Oh, yeah. Do I kind of described
Wait a
the
second.
giants that we killed. And I said, "Do they look like this?"
Yeah, that sounds about right. But who knows? Giants all look the same to me. Definitely
Wait.
seemed to me like there was a male and a female.
Wouldn't we have found the relic on their dead bodies after we had killed them?
Yeah, we didn't. Wait, no, we didn't find something like that.
No, we
But
found
we
them
killed
raw,
those
though.
giants. Those giant. I'll tell you, we got. Your town can rest assured that those giants have been killed.
Or some of them. Some giants were killed.
You sure it's the same ones?
I mean,
I would think so. It fits the description, though I'm sure there could be more.
we saw them out of town a couple days ago. They had a bunch
There
of
could-
orcs and axe beaks with them.
There could be
Okay.
multiple parties.
It's true.
Yeah, that is
But
true.
if still only 2 giants passed by here, there could still, still be another group
It just
of
seems
giants.
very. Yeah.
Did they have a giant shark-like land thing with
Shark.
them?
Land shark.
No, not that I recall. I don't see anything, or I don't remember seeing anything like that.
How did they dig it up?
Well, they dug their big old weapons into the ground and they just dug it up. Took them a mighty long time, but they managed to do it.
So they didn't use a shark, man.
Hmm.
Probably pick that up later. It was 10 days.
You want to explain what the hell it is that you're talking about?
I don't know what it is, so I could not explain it very well.
So let me get this straight. You said that you encountered these giants again,
Mm-hmm.
and that they dug something else out of the ground.
Yes.
Where
Yeah,
was
off the
this?
long road? Just
Along
north.
the road.
Did we take the chain with us?
Yeah,
No,
northwest of here.
Harshnag has it.
Oh, that's right.
Huh. Interesting. Seems to me like they're looking for things. Whatever
Yes.
these things are that are in the earth buried deep down. Maybe this rod's got something to do with it?
We did find a rod with them.
It helps them track the Vanindad, some kind of ancient golem that they're trying to piece
What
back
now?
together.
It may have a dual purpose, though.
An ancient
We are not
god.
sure.
Yeah, it's supposed to be larger than giants. All made of adamantine.
Made out of what? Success.
Adamantine.
Yeah, what's that?
Can I show her my... Oh, my armor's upstairs anyway.
Super hard metal. Harder than steel.
All right. Well, if what you're saying is true, that does not bode well for the North. And frankly, I don't think I ever want to fight another giant again.
I would not blame you.
That's what we're for.
Were they did you overhear them being sent by anyone?
No, I didn't. But to tell you the honest truth, I think Dars speaks giant, but I haven't been able to actually get the information out of him yet. The man's a little on the shady side, and frankly, I don't think he trusts authority. I've had my run-ins with him a couple times in the past, and frankly, I don't think he likes me very much. And to be completely honest, I don't think I like him very much. But lo and behold, as it stands right now, he heard something, and he hasn't had the gumption to give it up yet.
Well, maybe we should go talk to him.
Definitely talk to him.
Converse with this man.
Says good luck. Maybe you can get the information out of him that I couldn't. She says, of course, once I get my my arm and leg back, maybe I'll just have to beat it out of him if he doesn't give it up to you.
I like your style.
A waiter comes over and fills up her brandy and asks you guys if you want anything else.
No, thank you.
Oh no.
No,
She says,
well.
no, I insist. She says, why don't we get a little bit of a strong drink? How about a round of whiskeys for all these folk?
Hell yes.
Tea?
Can I smoke
Yeah.
in here?
I'm okay, but thank you.
She says, sure, you can smoke.
Hell yes.
So for those that want whiskey, the waiter brings you guys a tray of glasses of whiskey, including one for her as well. And she says,
Take
well,
out-
before we toast, go ahead, Kareem.
I was gonna say I just take out my stone pipe and light it up.
She says, well, before we toast, I did want to thank you for what you did. As I mentioned before, whatever the gods did to bring you to our little town here was damn right beneficial, because you ran into old lady Histrin, and as I mentioned before, solved going on over 20 years now mystery as to what happened to her husband. He says, old lady Histrim went crazy after supposedly her husband had skipped town with another woman. Mirak, as his name were, was known to be a little bit of a ladies' man, and Tolmara Histrin supposedly went off the south end shortly after that. That old house of her, old Six Windows, got more and more decrepit over the years, and we were kind of expecting Tolmara Histrin to just croak and die one day, but as I said, lo and behold, you show up, manage to get inside her house and find old Mirak's bones up in the attic. She says, now, I gotta confirm that that's actually the case and that's really his bones, but one of the older folk in town did recognize those clothes, so that's a really good sign. Seems like he had a bunch of marks on his bones as well, perhaps from snakes. And from what I hear, it was a big snake nest up in that attic too.
Oh yes, there was.
Yeah, it was gross.
Well, as it were, in her younger years, Tolmara used to be a bit of a medicine woman. You know, used to grind up snake bones and pull out snake venom from snakes in the local woods there by her house. Wouldn't be surprised if that's how she killed her husband too.
So did they take her in? Is she in jail
yeah.
now?
We took her in. We're questioning her as we speak, but I have a feeling that we're going to uncover the truth. Says once I can get a speak with dead confirmed on the body, then I'll know for certain.
So what's our
Well,
reward?
I can do that.
Says, damn forward of you, aren't you? He says,
won't stop about this reward.
well,
You can give it to him.
Apparently, he's
that's what I'm
impoverished.
holding this little bundle for. She kind of strokes her hand endearingly over the bundle of cloth on her lap. And she says,
More bones?
she begins to unwrap it. She says, no bones. She says, I've had this long bow in my family for years. Zorana, why don't you roll me a D100, please?
See what kind of bow it is.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, the 94 bow.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent choice.
That's the roll I got that lost me that Firehawk. Triggered?
What did the other guy roll 100?
No. 94, 95, 96.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, She says, well, as I was saying, this bow's been in my family for a couple of generations now. My old grandfather used to hunt with it out in the local woods here, and I don't use it. Haven't really had much of an opportunity to, as I don't hunt myself and I have no children of my own to pass it down to. So it's just honestly collecting dust up in my house. But figure I might as well give you a reward for solving such an old murder as it is. And perhaps you could take it.
Oh, no, we couldn't.
You should. And she unwraps it, and from what you see, it's kind of, it looks like it's carved from white wood, and it's actually got an interesting, like almost like flame motif on the edges, on the top and bottom of it. She says, "Winters here can get very cold, so the bow supposedly has an extra property." Aside from being magical in and of itself, says where it's able to keep the wearer warm.
Huh.
She says, once or twice my grandfather burned himself, but this bow was able to protect him from the flames.
Oh.
So in game mechanic terms, it's a +1 longbow. But it has a unique property to keep the wearer warm, which allows you to ignore the first 5 points of any cold damage you receive once per turn.
Ooh, it's defensive.
That's nice.
Good for the frost giants.
There's frost giants now.
Oh, is that a thing?
Oh, no.
Wait, I guess Harshnag.
Yeah, Harshnag's one of those.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, let's kill
He's
him.
cool.
I know he has treasure. He has the valuable
You're right. We must kill him.
Isn't he like an ancient?
But first we kill his grandmother.
Well,
Fair enough.
never really came up with a name for the bow, so you're free to name it yourself.
Fair enough. Winter Junior.
Winter
Bow reminds me of
Junior.
summer, to be honest. I kind of like
Summer
that as a name.
Ah. Yeah, I like it.
Close enough.
Or spring. Maybe. Or summer.
Do you think Winter will be offended?
Nah.
All right. Well,
If you
Shall we go to
insist.
bed?
Yes.
It was nice meeting you.
We have learned a lot.
nice meeting you as well.
Very much so.
From what I hear, you call yourselves the Stone Sworn.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yep.
We are.
Why is that?
Well, people were asking us what we called ourselves, so we had to come up with some.
All right.
You had to do
Well,
Nightstone, wasn't it, Thornburg?
Yeah. I'm from Nightstone. That's where our adventures began.
Oh, all right. To the south.
Where I've
too
sworn
far from
vengeance
Waterdeep,
against
right?
these damn giants. Yep. Yeah, very close to Waterdeep.
She says, well, as good as the name as any. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
I'll keep you in mind. Let everybody know that the Stone Sworn solved the murder of old Marek.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you seen a tiefling who has a similar accent to me, or even looks? Not really looks. Outfits. Yeah, but
Just
my
like-
outfit's not right.
He has horns.
Shit.
Attire.
No, can't say I have.
No.
Sorry.
Mm-mm.
If there were a tiefling that passed through here with an accent like yours, I think I would have heard about it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Is this somebody you're looking for?
Yes.
Friend or foe?
Friend, if he makes it over here, just tell me any way you can if I'm still here. If not, I don't know. Just forget about it, I guess. Or I can leave him a message.
You could do that. I'd probably leave it with the general store. I ain't much of a messenger.
But you have the whole guard under you.
Fair enough. Alright. Why don't you write it down then? I'll
Okay,
spread
I'll
the
think
word
about
out
it.
to my guards. This tiefling here got a name?
Yes, his name is Tech.
She looks at you. She says, "What kind of name is Tact?"
It's a name for a tiefling. Tieflings have these kinds of names. Are you okay? Right.
Fair enough.
Never mind.
Alright.
That's it.
That's
yeah.
it.
I'll write
Alright.
down the thing. Let's go to bed.
Let's go to bed.
I'm very grateful for the bow.
You're welcome. Hope it does you justice.
It shall do great justice.
She nods and smiles. Alright. You take care of yourselves now.
You as well.
You too.
She goes back to sipping her brandy.
Go upstairs. Go to bed.
Alright. You go to bed.
Go to bed.
You wake up the next morning. Have some hot breakfast.
Tea.
Some tea. Sure.
You're obsessed.
Addicted to the tea.
Saran, I think you've been drinking too much caffeine. You've been getting all shaky.
Like herbalism.
Mythology.
Alright, so what are your plans now?
Let's find this Dars guy.
Yartar, I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, should we talk to Dars real quick?
Sure.
You're
Just
like,
to get-
sure.
Some last. He might have some giant info that could help us.
I'm pretty sure he's probably just gonna give us the same rundown. But I don't know, maybe
he
not.
speaks giant. There's information that he
Like
has.
that, believe.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, maybe he has something that we would know.
We'll be quick. Let's go find Dars.
Okay.
Okay. So you go to look for Dars. Since it's morning time, you find Dars. 1 second, let me just pull him up here. You see, he's a tall, thin, wiry man with a very hard face that looks like it never smiles. He's got a beard, but no hair on his upper lip, kind of like he's got like an Amish beard. And he's got long, stringy brown hair. He looks like this.
Hey, that's the guy who's in the middle of town on the map.
That's right.
What the hell was he doing?
So he says, "What you doing looking around my campground?"
Looking for a fella named Dars.
Yeah, that's me, Darius. What do you want?
You have a great voice. Where do you come from?
None of your business.
That is always what I say.
Now, what do you want, snooping around here?
Want to talk about the giant attack?
If you had any information.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We're hunting
Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Oh my god.
He's really, really tall. This guy's got to be at least 6'7", 6'8". Really,
Well,
really piercing blue eyes.
Ow.
We just wanted help. We talked to Darathra last night. She pointed us in your direction.
What that bitch want? She wants you to talk to me?
That is
I
rude.
mean, no, we just want to know. Do you know what the giants were saying to each other? She said you speak giant.
He looks at you, up and down, and he says, how much you willing to pay? You
How
look
much
like
are you willing to
adventurers.
pay?
3 gold pieces.
I was gonna say 2.
He spits on the ground. 3 gold pieces. Can I
Fine,
wipe my ass
fine, we'll
with
do
3
it.
gold pieces?
We'll do it. 4 gold pieces.
Ugh. He takes out a pouch of tobacco and he starts rolling himself a cigarette.
Okay, I do the same. I just kind of stare him down, actually.
Have a smoke off. Who can light it faster? Pack it faster.
Are you really trying to stare him down now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, go ahead and make me an intimidate. Oh,
I don't know how to do it.
he looks at you. Like he's rolling his cigarette and he like looks at you and he sees you looking at him and then he just gets a smirk on his face and he says you look like you never rolled tobacco your whole life.
That's because I'm packing it into a pipe.
Pipes are for pussies.
And
And he says that totally serious, straight faced. And he looks at you. He's kind of intimidating you now.
Oh shit! I feel intimidated.
Oh yeah. Why don't you make me a wisdom save?
Okay.
DC's 14.
Am I feared?
Oh yeah, you're feared. You're like looking at this guy. This guy's like, this guy's pretty intimidating looking. He may not look like much, but he looks like he will beat the shit out of you. With his bare fists.
How many giants did you take down, Dars?
I don't fight giants. At least not for Tribor.
You have some bad blood with the people of Tribor.
He says, no, I make my home here. It is what it is.
You just have problems with Darathra.
He says, she's too uptight for me. Wants to run my life. Tell me how to water my horses. Take care of my animals. Run my campground. I do what I want. He takes a long drag on his cigarette. This is my land. I worked my land. I do what I want. I no complain when giants come here, dig hole in my ground. You see me complain? He shrugs.
Are the horses okay?
He says, I lose couple horses. Nothing, a little bit of gold will make up for.
Are there any horses around now?
Yeah, you see a few. They're currently feeding at a nearby trough.
Is Winter eating in the same trough?
No, it's in his corral.
Yeah.
You, Winter, and the rest of you guys are outside of the corral at the moment.
I just want to see Winter like try to poke his head into it.
He says, aside from this one, and he looks at Kareem, he says, the rest of you looking like interesting people. He says, you know who this is? And he opens up his vest, and he pulls out what looks like a scroll of paper. It's like really yellowed with age, and it's got a couple holes poked through it. But he unfurls it, and he turns around to show it to you guys. And it's something you've actually seen before. Oh, hold on a second.
The weevil.
Where is it? I thought I had it. There it is. There you go.
I'm a genius.
Uh-huh.
We have seen that before. We have not seen him just yet.
He says, that's quite an amount of money, no?
Yeah.
Quite.
Yes, it is.
He says, maybe we cut a deal.
How so?
Maybe I give you some information on this weevil, and you cut me a piece of the reward.
Guys,
You know, I could use some better armor.
He says, 5,000 gold pieces, lots of money. You buy better armor.
That is lots of money. You're
What's
right.
the cut?
10%.
10% sounds good.
Are you giving
Yeah.
him ideas?
And maybe I tell you what the giant told me.
See?
Okay.
All works out.
Yeah. That's 10% seems like a fair number.
That's a number.
It says, okay, you pay 10% up front. I tell you what I know. I tell you what giants say. And we call it even. And if you find the weevil, then you keep the rest. You keep all the reward.
Do we have that much money?
This is a terrible idea.
You have
10% up front, huh? Can I do an insight check?
He points at his chest. He says, Dar's not stupid. I know tell you information without getting money up front.
That's
Can we just leave this guy?
What did you just say, Kareem?
I said, can we just leave this guy?
If we don't want his info. Do you
Oh, so you wanted to insight the guy.
Insight check, yeah.
500 gold for this.
Go right ahead.
That's terrible.
No.
Well, if we find the guy,
So-
we'll get the whole
So your impression of him is that he is telling the truth.
Guys, I think we got
That was my-
money.
How's my passive insight?
He seems to be telling the truth. Although you're having a hard time looking him in the eyes.
I say we do it. It's a gamble. I know it. But I say we do it. That money's just sitting in that bag anyway.
500 gold.
Wait. You gotta think of another thing is, are we gonna go look for the weevil?
Yeah, that's a good point too. Do we even have
No,
time?
we're
for that
not.
shit?
I doubt it.
Exactly.
I mean, but I would really like some new armor
You
before
think
we
any
fight
magic
more
to make him
giants.
tell us?
The dude is right there.
Zone of truth.
Go ahead. You try your magic.
Zone of truth.
You see if I tell you. And he cracks
Well,
his
he-
knuckles.
Yes, we're willing to do
He,
that.
he can. Yeah, he doesn't have to talk with Zone of Truth.
We
Oh.
could. Anybody got charm?
No.
Oh, maybe
Yeah,
we
not
don't
the
need to know information
charming-
about the weevil, but what if we give you
What if I attack him?
20 gold for the information you know from the giants?
20 gold? You think my horse come back for 20 gold?
I don't know.
He spits on the ground.
I don't think they're coming back ever, to be honest.
I buy new horses, but 20 gold no buy horses. He shrugs. I got no regrets. You do what you want.
Yeah, whatever you guys want. I mean, maybe we don't have time to go find this guy anyway.
We don't. We just want to know what he knows about the giants.
Do we have anything worth trading? That we could lie about the value of? No, I think we don't have any more. Like,
we traded
gems
it all
or anything.
in. We have gold.
fuck.
We traded it. We have gold worth stuff.
Yeah.
There's like 2 gold numbers I'm looking at.
Are there?
So we need to reorganize our bag. Yeah, there's a 13 gold one and there's a 1300 gold one. Look, I vote. Let's just not get his info for 500 gold.
50 gold.
He sighs. Make me a persuasion check.
Wasn't very persuasive.
50 gold. Bah. 50 gold, I buy saddle, but no horse.
Start.
That's a nice saddle. What kind of horses are you getting?
I sell only finest mare. I train myself.
Impressive. As a
We lost all
fellow
our
lover of creatures, and assuming you don't give a shit about the happenings of the world, 70 gold for the information.
100.
80.
100.
990.
85.
105.
That's higher, Zorana. I think we should just take it.
Let's just take 100.
I only have 98 on me.
We have party loot.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
like 1,300 in that bag.
You have 100 gold on you? What are you fucking doing?
Being smart. Because it goes into the party loot and it's an abyss. Scrape out a little for yourself.
Fine, 100 gold.
Let me see.
I'll take it out of the bag of holding.
Alright. He he takes your bag. He counts the coins. He says, "This looks right. Okay, here's what giants say. They said a few things, like their names. I think the male was Ascort and the woman was Ildmane. They say they're from Ironslag and that they come here from Duke Zalto, looking for peace of Vonendad. They say they find few pieces around here, and they look for more.
Iron Slag.
They say something about Yak folk. I don't know what Yak folk is, but they cannot wait for Yak folk to leave.
Yak folk.
That's racist.
Kareem, weren't you yapping about yak folk once?
I was yakking. Yeah,
Oh.
I have no idea. Maybe? What? Do I know that, Joe? What's yak bug?
I don't know. Do you know that?
I don't
It's in your-
think so.
Maybe in your journal somewhere.
Yeah, in your journal.
Wait. What journal?
Nandar.
Oh, is that in there? I don't remember what's in it. Where is it? Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, look at that.
I guess you don't care about Lady Nandar anymore.
Of course I care about Lady Nandar. It's been months. I mean,
About a
It's like
month.
10 days ago.
right.
It's been about 10 days. Or at least 10 days.
What was it about the Yak folk? I forgot the whole message.
It
I have it
was
somewhere.
kind of eaten. Remember?
Yes,
Oh.
and it's also been in a river. Hmm.
And obviously, I assume you didn't really speak to the giants. You just overheard. That's probably a stupid question.
No, I speak to giants.
Oh, they actually spoke to you?
He nods. Slowly and seriously.
Nice folk.
Not really. He shrugs. Dar's not nice either.
Well, you can hold your own.
Hmm.
Well, we thank you that you were able to speak with them. That's very helpful.
He sighs. Too bad you're not interested in Weevil. And he scrolls, he rolls up the scroll and puts it back into his vest.
We unfortunately have bigger problems to worry about.
Unless you know where he is.
He looks at you.
He's not gonna tell you.
He just gives you a look.
That was the whole thing.
I thought he just had information. I didn't know. He knew exactly what he wanted.
You don't know what information he has. He probably has that information.
Eh.
Too bad you'll never know.
How unfortunate.
It's not worth that much money. I don't know.
Well, should we go to Yartar? Is that what we want to do next?
Well, we have to talk to the person.
Yeah, the deceased
who
guy.
would-
Yes.
Yeah. We need to pass Alestra Ulgar. We'll deliver some sad news. You guys do that. I'm gonna go to the bookshop. You know, divide and conquer. You know.
It's the same place.
Damn it.
Alestra is at the Light Shield store.
That's why
Very
it sounded familiar.
Oh yeah. Didn't we rob that place blind?
Not.
Oh,
this
the one in Nightstone you did.
Yeah, that's right. Good times.
What is this? You robbed Nightstone?
Yeah. Yeah, you weren't there.
Oh,
No, we did not do that. Of course not.
Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. I thought
We
I must have
borrowed.
misheard it.
We borrow.
We actually gave
We-
back all of it.
Yeah, we gave it the bag, didn't we? Most of it.
I thought I gave
I don't
back
think
all
so.
of it.
No, I do remember you did give back some stuff.
Or the goblins took it. I forgot.
I think
took a
that
wagon.
goblin did take it. Yeah,
In a couple tents, but it didn't take everything. I think we had some stuff.
he did not. I almost forgot about that goblin. Thank you for reminding me.
Why are we gonna see him one day? Is he gonna...
You will.
The army. Bro, Goblin army.
Nice.
riding
Building a
donkey.
goblin army down there. What was his name? Anybody remember his name?
Hip hop? I don't know.
No.
It was like Tut. or something
Tot.
like that.
That's right.
Tot! Yeah, that's right.
I wasn't even playing.
You know.
Well,
You guys
Yeah.
just talked about him so much. He was such a hit back at the beginning.
there are a lot of things that happened. Remember the Mind Flayer?
That's right. The drink.
That was good times. So are we heading to this?
Yeah, you going to the store?
Yeah.
Thank you
Leaving
for your time.
Doris
Doris.
behind. He nods. He said, "Ah." And then he goes back to tending his horses. Meanwhile, the rest of you guys, you go to a different area of town where you find a small, squat building. Actually, it's not small. It looks like it's pretty large. It has a polished shield emblazoned with the head of a golden lion on a blue background above the door. And the name of the store is called the Lion's Share. As you walk in, you find a few locals are in here shopping. And from what you could tell, it looks like they sell provisions and animal fodder, some adventuring gear and armor and weapons in the back. You also notice that there's a staircase that leads up to the second floor, but it says employees only. Working the actual building itself, you see a woman. She appears to be a Luskin, and she is currently just behind the counter. Looks like she is taking some inventory or writing in a book. And then there's a rather manicured, well-looking dude. Hold on a second. Yeah, whatever. I don't give a fuck. He looks like this. He kind of looks Mulhorandi. You guys see him?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He is a flaw in bonds and ideal.
Yeah, just ignore that for now.
Huh.
He says, welcome, welcome. He says, welcome to the Lion's Shield, the Lion's Share. How is it that I can help you?
We heard you're dead.
What?
Oh, it does say dead. It's my ghost. Never mind. This guy is dead. Sorry. He died in the attack.
Oh,
I didn't notice that. Let me just remove it from the journal.
Is there a ghost in here?
Who are you gonna call?
It's late. I'm sorry. I totally didn't notice that.
Oh my fucking god.
Alright. Settle down now. Settle down. So the woman behind the counter, she actually looks quite morose. She seems a little sad. Her eyes are red rimmed and puffy. She looks up at you guys and she gives like the barest hint of a smile, but it looks very strained. And then she doesn't even really greet you. She just goes back to writing in her book. Meanwhile, there are customers inside the store and they seem to be shopping, but it just looks like locals, you know, doing their grocery shopping and shit.
Uh-huh. Is this?
Her dead business partner is out here.
Oh, I hope that's not a Lestra.
What are we asking for again? I forgot.
We're bringing her sad news.
That's right.
Well, so just to be clear,
This is
according if you look up
ex-wife.
Morex Quest, yeah,
This is ex-wife. She might be happy about it.
Oh yeah, might be happy.
Your ex-husband is dead. I just say it out loud.
she looks up. She says, "What?"
Kareem.
Oh,
But they got to break it to her. Come on.
Well, you don't even
My-
know if that's her. Just walked
That's
into the
true,
store,
actually.
Looking for someone and haven't even asked anyone's name. Just yell out in the middle of the store.
You get a couple of looks from people inside the store. She looks up at you guys, and she stops what she's writing, and then she goes from behind the counter, and she walks up to you. She says, "Excuse me? Oh, what? What did you just say?"
Are you Alestra? Oldhart?
Yeah. So you see a relatively, a woman in her mid-30s. She's kind of got like dirty blonde hair and dark blue eyes. And she's pretty, but she looks like she's been through hell like the past week. And she says, "Yes, that's my name. What did you say? You said something about my about an ex-husband?"
We came from Nightstone, and we just were told by Morak to give you the news that Darthag has passed.
He died a warrior.
Yes. I'm trying to protect
Her
the
eyes
other
begin to
people
tear
of the
up.
town.
Ah, shit.
She says, "Oh, first Tezrin and now Darthrag?
I
Oh,
think technically it was first Darthrag and then Tezrin.
I'm sorry." And she pulls out a handkerchief and she just like runs out. She like goes and runs up the stairs for a brief
Well.
moment.
We did good, guys.
You're the most terrible people.
Oh my god.
That could have gone better.
That's what happens when Evan's not with us.
Death is
Yeah.
a part of life. She'll
You get a few
okay.
looks from the patrons of the store.
No, they weren't even married anymore. I mean, come on.
Maybe they were still good friends, you know?
Friendship with your ex. Lol.
It's messed up, man. You guys stand around and wait for her to come back?
Yeah,
No, I think-
peruse the shop.
Like nothing happened.
You're like, oh well. Let's go shopping.
Well, Zinfel still needs to look around for paper. and
I'm
you-
not shopping after this. I would have to buy from her.
Give her some money, she might feel better. Compliment how amazing her goods are and make her feel a little better.
Oh.
I mean, she probably wants more details, and then we can tell her how he was eaten by a bunch of rats.
Oh my god, that's exactly what you want to hear.
and then we can ask how the other man died in detail, just so we know for sure how both of them died.
I don't think we need to know that information.
It's not gonna hurt.
All right, we just need to leave this town.
Yeah, I think I agree.
All right, so you're not going to be buying any paper, is that right?
Wait, maybe we should see if she has a reward.
There is a clerk in the store. You now notice that he's like walks up to you guys. He says, "Can I help you?"
Yes, we told your friend that her ex-husband had died, and she ran upstairs crying.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yes, it is horrible.
I didn't even know that she had an ex-husband.
Well,
I thought it was always
had
just
an
her and
ex-husband.
Tezrin forever.
Had husband.
Oh, well. He shrugs. He says, well, is there something else I could help you with?
I want to see if she's alright.
She looks like she ran upstairs.
Do you
She
have
probably wants to be left alone, considering you just told her ex-husband died.
Yeah, it was a natural reaction. What did we expect her to do?
Give me a reward.
Kareem, you
It's,
shut your mouth.
Let's just let her be.
Yeah, you're probably right.
He scratches the peach fuzz on his face because he's only a young kid, and he says, "Well, I could tell her that you stopped by, and I don't know if she wants to talk to you. I could let her know where you're staying."
Friends,
Yeah.
did we have to give any tokens or anything, or was that just news?
I think it's just news. Tell her we give her our condolences.
Yes.
Sure. And who are you?
Storm.
Yes.
We traveled from Nightstone.
Wait, hold on. And he goes to the counter and he gets a piece of paper and a quill, and he says, "Why don't you just write your names on this and leave her a note or something?"
Okay.
She might have a bounty on our head after this.
And if you're going to be doing any shopping, you just let me know. I'll help you out.
You have any paper?
Zinfil, you probably have really great
Yeah.
handwriting. You write.
We have paper. We got parchment too if you want that instead. It's a little bit cheaper.
What about scrolls?
We have a few of those, but none of the magical kind. They're just blank. Usually for like legal documents and things like that.
Right. Do you want to purchase anything, Zinfo?
On seeing Zinfo, he like straightens up a little bit and puffs out his chest.
Inks. I need special inks. 200 gold worth.
His eyes go wide. Wow, that's a whole lot of ink. I don't even think we have 200 gold of ink, but I'll check. Just wait here. Any particular color, Miss Lady, ma'am?
Just something nice. Maybe a purple or a green or whatever you have. You don't have much ink. I'll take anything. Could be a mix and match. Get me 4 spells back. No.
Well, okay. Oh, you're one of those wizards types. I can get you some special like that.
Yes.
Just
yes.
wait here, and he runs off.
What a nice fellow.
Well,
Yeah.
as you guys are writing your note, I guess to Alestra, is that what you're doing?
Mhm.
Sure.
He comes back with a crate filled with like papers and a couple of books, and they're all blank and stuff, and a few inks. And he says, "These are plenty of supplies for one of you wizard types. 200 gold worth, right?"
Yes, please.
And he shows you a variety of different inks and papers and stuff for you to select and pick.
Ooh, nice. It's not like Mother's, but it'll have to do.
Actually, you do notice that some of the stuff is from your mother's shop.
I get those.
It's kind of weird though, because like you're paying for your own mom's goods, so at no discount. Stuff that you would normally get for free, but you do manage to.
Damn. Locust ate my mother's sheets.
See, you spend the 200 gold and are able to recoup some of your supplies.
Long last.
You'll still have to spend the time to recopy your spells and stuff, but
Yes, it's a few hours. Well, yeah, it's just 2 spells I can get back. I need more money.
it's great. All right. Anything else? because we're right at 11:30 now.
Nope.
That's it.
All right.
Okay.
That's good.
So what is the plan next? What are you guys doing? Are you done with Tribor?
I think so. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His Tack's not here, so
So far, you're asking around about Tact, and you have not been able to find him.
but I left a message. Oh,
You did.
I guess I didn't write it down yet, but I'll write it down before.
Sure.
Let's leave, yeah.
Yeah, that.
Do we
All right, you don't have to
Part
come up
next?
with a decision now of what you're going to do next. You can talk about it over the next couple of weeks. Is everybody good to play on the 3rd?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, the third should be really good for me. I'm traveling for work on the 4th, 5th, and 6th. So I should be fine for that night. No last minute cancellations or moving the date or anything like that.
Okay.
And I'm really sorry that I had to do that this week, but just
No worries,
yesterday
man.
was really tough.
Yeah,
Good.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks for running for us tonight.
Oh,
Yep.
no problem. I hope it was entertaining.
It was
And
fine.
I,
It was
I literally did not make any of that up. That is all straight out of the book. It's what you did with that lady's house. I mean, I made up the descriptions, obviously, but
Did you expect us to go into that house?
no, I did not. That was like left field. I was like, why is this even in here? It was like one of those like TV episodes with like a side story that has nothing to do with the main adventure.
Yep.
Well, we got a
That's
bow
fun.
from it.
Yeah, you did, and it's literally in the adventure too. So it's not like I added that just for Zorana. That is literally the reward you get.
Nice.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Oh.
We'll have to
That's awesome.
create a journal entry for the bow. I wanted to show you what it looked like. 1 second. I don't know if you're gonna call it summer or not.
Call it summer.
I'll call it summer for now. But if you do want to change the name, you're welcome to. But that's what it looks like.
Nice.
Cool. Now I'll put the description of the bow. I think as a +1 weapon though, you don't have to attune to it.
And it's a recurve longbow.
All right. Okay, so that being said, thank you guys for playing. We'll play again on the 3rd. Feel free to talk about it in chat on what you want to do next. And Kareem, I know that we didn't do too much with the main story, but you did find out some more information.
Yeah, we found a lot of information with the story.
We're moving. We're moving slowly but surely.
And our characters grew together. I don't know if we got any bond points this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that the 4 of you each get a bond point with each other.
Going through a
For our-
spooky horror house.
For our mystery.
Going through the spooky horror straight out of Scooby-Doo thing.
Yeah, if that didn't create some bonding, I don't know what will.
All right.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Great. Thanks again, Joe. I'll
Night.
talk to you in a couple weeks.
All right. Sounds good. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
Thanks, Joe. Bye.